Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, and we are live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. Just a quick little live stream on this Thursday evening. Yeah, had nothing better to do, to be honest. Bored as fuck, so why not fire up a quick live stream, talk boxing, non-boxing, whatever it may be, whatever comes up, kind of thing. But yeah, not necessarily boxing related. You can ask what you want, essentially. You can ask what you want, man. Salute to Big Dan in the chat. He's always one of the first guys here, man. Big up to Big Dan. Frampton versus Herring in the works for December 19th. Good fight. Super featherweight fight. Yeah, looking forward to that one. Based on how Herring looked in his last fight, you're thinking now that Frampton has a chance. Before that fight, I was kind of leaning towards Herring to win on points. But considering how bad Herring looked in his last fight, makes it more interesting. And another thing is the fact that Herring has 1 foot out of the door. He's already considering retirement. He's actually saying this fight more than likely is going to be his last fight. So, yeah, man, that's an interesting fight. Interesting fight between Herring and Frampton. And yeah, hopefully it goes down this year. Hopefully it takes place in the UK as well, so we don't have to stay up late for it. That'd be ideal. But yeah, good fight, man. Good fight. Hopefully it gets made. Hopefully it gets made. I thought that fight would be happening next year, but fair enough, man. Fair enough. Let's open boxing scene quickly. Nothing really on here, to be honest. But there we go. There we go. Oh, it's in London. It's going to be in London. That's good news. Definitely good news. Yo, by the way, lads, this is breaking news. Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz in the UK is going to be on Channel 5. So, no dodgy streams, no Fight TV, nothing like that. Channel 5, Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. That's great news. That's great news. Very good, very good. Good to see Channel 5 picking some boxing up now. That's great news. I know it's not the best fight in the world. You know, Leo Santa Cruz coming up in weight. He's not really a 130-pounder in my opinion. I think Tank Davis is going to win. But it's a good fight for Channel 5 to get. And hopefully that signifies Channel 5 actually getting more of these international cards. That would be great in my opinion. That would be great. Yeah, Big Dan, regular Channel 5. Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. Dylan McCarthy, thoughts on Tyson versus Jones being on BT pay-per-view? Bro, it's disappointing. First and foremost, it's not pay-per-view worthy in my opinion. But the most disappointing aspect of that, in my opinion, is the fact that BT have first refusal on top-ranked shows. They show this garbage, but they didn't pick up Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. They can show Tyson versus Jones Jr., an exhibition fight, put it on pay-per-view, but they can't show a unification fight. Absolutely scandalous, in my opinion. Absolutely scandalous. Yeah, I saw the news on Dave Allen, Michael Van Gerwen, about his opponent, Christopher Lovejoy. That fight's now in jeopardy. Apparently, Christopher Lovejoy has some sort of contract with Don King, and Don King wasn't aware that this fight got made. He's unhappy. Now the fight's in jeopardy, basically. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you go bargain basement shopping, you know? A lot of the time, the product is faulty and it doesn't work. And there we go. There we go. Not really surprised, to be honest. Not really surprised. Big up to Intangible Boxing News. I watched that video, Intangible. Very good stuff. He was high as a kite, Ty and Booth. High as a kite. Gloves Up Boxing. Big up to Gloves Up Boxing. Surely now Tyson versus Jones is on pay-per-view 28th of November. They're not going to do a Fury pay-per-view the week after. Very good point. But, you know, listen, it's boxing. I wouldn't be surprised still if they try to charge. I don't think that Tyson Jones Jr. fight's going to do very well in the UK, to be honest. I don't think it's going to do very well. So I still believe they're going to put Tyson Fury on pay-per-view, considering, well, we'll have to see what type of opponent it is, but I still expect Tyson Fury to be on pay-per-view. Primetime UK, I think they'll try it, to be honest. I do. Big up to G-Man Boxing every single time. Straight BS. Tyson versus Jones picked up over Lomachenko versus Teofimo. Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, and big up, Dell. Thank you very much, G-Man. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah, Big Dan, that's correct. Jones Jr. versus Tyson isn't pay-per-view, but the Skylot can't complain when KSI versus Logan Paul was on pay-per-view. Yeah, but let's be honest, Big Dan, they are both taking liberties right now, in my opinion, with certain fights not being shown, international fights, unification fights, big cards not being shown, and then we get served up absolute crap. They are taking liberties right now, but what can we do? What can we do? Big up to Dada. Yes, Del. Sorry, yes, Del. You good, my brother? I am pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Getting a little bit wound up with the world, the situation that we're in. But what can you do? You got to keep soldiering on. It is what it is, man. I'm just kind of disturbed by certain people in society and whatnot. But what can we do, man? What can we do? Just got to keep striving, going forwards, working hard, and keeping your head down. Basically, look out for yourself, your family, your friends, and you'll be all right. That's all that matters, really. Sometimes we get too carried away with what's going on in the world and sharing our opinions on it, but really all that matters is our close ones and the people we can directly affect in a positive way. That's really all that matters. And sometimes, you can go too far down a rabbit hole when you look into certain things. And really, is it beneficial to yourself? Not really. Just gets you wound up and angry, I guess. So yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Just a little bit. Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is. Yeah, gloves up boxing. This could be the reason why Dubois versus Joyce is regular paper. Yeah, regular BT sport. Maybe gloves up boxing could be. Yeah, they need to find a way to pay those purses because they're going to be getting paid big money, even if they are taking pay cuts. Salute to Jim McDonald's. Jim McDonald's corner. Big up to you, sir. Hopefully Liz is doing well, keeping herself in shape and all that. Philo Bedo, Santa Cruz must have been paid to walk forward with his hands down for Tank. In the press conference, he was talking about making it a fight. That's the worst thing he could do, Philo Bedo. He's the naturally smaller guy, started at a much lower weight class. Leo Santa Cruz needs to make the most of his one physical advantage, and that is height and reach. He needs to keep it long and basically fight how he did in the second Frampton fight if he's got any chance of winning. And even then, Tank's too big, too strong, too powerful, and he'll knock him out, in my opinion. I don't think Leo can win this fight. Tank Davis needs to look good. This essentially is a high-level setup fight, an exercise in matchmaking to make Tank look good, and Tank needs to look good doing this, basically. I see it as like Mikey versus Spence 2.0. That's how I see this fight, personally. I'll definitely watch it, don't get me wrong, but nah. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Big up to Levi Khan, man like Levi. Salute to Levi over there in NYC. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well. G-Man, wear a mask. Oh, Christ. Exactly, Levi. Imagine having a promotional contract with Don King in 2020. They exist, though. They exist. Trevor Bryan, apparently Christopher Lovejoy. I think Vanes Martirosyan signed with Don King a couple of years ago, and he's not fought since. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I agree, Levi. I agree. In regards to Tank by knockout, could be easy money. Unless Tank really shits for bed, he should take care of Leo in good fashion. He should. He should. Big up to Declan McCarthy. I don't think Tyson versus Jones deserves the same criticism as some of the recent Sky pay-per-views, especially if it's only a tenner. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Jim McDonald's corner. Matchroom can't even get Kell Brook on Sky Sports. Embarrassing, so it is. Yeah, Kell Brook's fighting on Premier Sports against Terence Crawford. Why is it when I start a live stream, yeah, I always get some fucking sank in my throat kind of thing? Sound like I've been on 40 a day or something like that. Philo Bedo, it's sad that casuals think Leo Tank is legit and will hype Tank after. Yeah, we know how it is though, Philo Bedo. We saw the same thing with Mikey versus Spence. We know how it is. We know how it is. If Tank wants to fight a 130-pounder, it should have been Miguel Berchelt. I'd have accepted that, no doubt, but he's fighting Leo Santa Cruz, a guy who's had one fight in the weight class and looked terrible doing it. Watch Leo Santa Cruz's last fight against Moises Flores, a guy who wasn't even ranked in the top 100 on BoxRec. Leo Santa Cruz went the distance and looked pretty bad, in my opinion. He looked pretty bad, so there we go. Big up to Crazy D3. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. Yo, smash the like, lads, by the way. Be much appreciated. Levi Khan, what do you think of former world champion Lucas Browne starting a GoFundMe to continue his career? I mean, when you get knocked out by Dave Allen, you've not really got anywhere to go, have you? I mean, yeah, he's just really trying to cash out the last couple of years he's got left in the sport, I guess. I mean, good luck to him, but I'm certainly not going to be contributing. Put it that way. Put it that way. But yeah, big up to Crazy D3. Levi Khan, does Tom Little beat Lucas Browne or nah? Do you know what? It would be relatively competitive now. Tom Little's not really got much of a gas tank, doesn't really have much power. I would still favour Lucas Browne to win in like an 8-rounder or something like that. Close points win, I would say. Exactly, gloves up boxing. I don't think Santa Cruz can really win this fight. I agree. Even if Santa Cruz somehow outboxes Tank for 12 rounds, they'll screw Santa Cruz on the scorecards. Yep, I agree. Declan McCarthy, Tank is wank. I think Tank is potentially good. I think he's got raw potential, speed, power, things like that. He's relatively marketable. I think there's talent there, but I just don't think the guy's got the application long term to really amount to anything special. Just how I see Tank. I think Tank's going to be one of those guys we talk about in 5 years and say, well, he's a wasted talent, basically. That's how I see Tank Davis going. I know he's been training hard for this fight, but, you know, you've got to do it over a long period of time, and we've not seen that from Tank yet. Tank kind of lets himself go sometimes, you know, gets in trouble. We need to see Tank, you know, knuckle down for a long time. Hopefully that happens, but we'll see. Yeah, Makabu. Yeah, Alunga Makabu. He is with Don King. Yeah, he is. He is, yeah. It's crazy people still sign with Don King. It really is. It's crazy. Yo, salute to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, a.k.a. D Jefferson. Big up to D. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well. Who will be Lovejoy's last-minute replacement? Apparently, they've got a replacement on standby, Crazy D3. I wouldn't be surprised if it is someone like Tom Little, to be honest. I could see that. I could see Tom Little versus Dave Allen. Don King's going to live forever. Yeah, he will, man. He will. He's like Frank Warren. Like, you can't get rid of this guy. You can't get rid of him. Big Boys Boxing, Django Apulu, who lost the Australian title to Justice Hooney, would smash Lucas Browne. It's over. Yeah, he probably would, you know, Big Boys Boxing. Apulu, if that's how you say his name, he showed some really good toughness in that fight against Hooney. Some really good toughness. Yeah, you're right, Nathan. Kamil Sakalowski's fighting Victor Vickhurst on Saturday. Yeah, Victor Vickhurst, in my opinion, one of the better heavyweight prospects right now. And I think he's going to go relatively far. Yes, big up Johnny Boy's Johnny's Fight Palace. Big up to you, Johnny Boy. Hopefully you're keeping well, doing your thing and all that. Saw your video on Kell, Brook, Terence Crawford. I watched that the other day. And yeah, I feel the same way. I think Terence is going to get him out of there probably late on, kind of thing. Big up to the 90s, sup Del, sup the 90s. Hopefully you're keeping well. Yes, exactly. Big up to all the lads. Big up to all the lads. Jay Bilo in the chat as well. Big up to Jay Bilo. Yeah, Michael Wallish on the Victor Vickhurst card as well. You could see Vickhurst fighting Michael Wallish relatively soon. I could see that. I could see that happening. Maybe that's why he's on that card. Declan McCarthy is probably going to be a Bellew or Dillian White fighter stepping in if Lovejoy doesn't come off. How on earth has Lovejoy got a top 15 ranking with a WBA? It's crazy. I mean, the guy's fought one guy with a winning record in 19 fights. And one of the guys he actually knocked out was a former heavyweight. Bear in mind, Christopher Lovejoy is a heavyweight and he knocked out a former featherweight. That's how bad his resume is. And somehow he's in the top 15 of the WBA. I mean, scandalous, isn't it, really? Absolutely scandalous. Christ. Yeah, I listen, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. I think a UD is possible for Bud, but I just see Brook just basically gassing out in the second half, getting beat down and stopped. I don't think Brook has it anymore, to be honest. And again, we was talking about wasted talents. In my mind, Kell Brook is always going to be a wasted talent, especially in British boxing. The guy could have achieved so much more, but outside the ring activities, not living the life, not paying attention to his weight, taking too long to step up, it cost him. It really did cost him. And I think on his day, a prime Kell Brook would be competitive with any one of these welterweights. I really do believe that, but he missed his chance. He missed his chance. Big up to Carlos Mendoza. Johnny Boy's Fight Palace, he says, yeah, Del, I think Brook will give it his best. Like I say, because he knows it's his last hurrah. He'll make it interesting, but Crawford will get to him eventually. Too crafty and 5 inches of reach on Brook. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. The reach of Terence Crawford, he's got very long arms. And listen, Brook is reliant on his straight punches. If he can't find the distance, he is fucked, basically, because Brook doesn't really apply pressure. He's a counterpuncher. And if Terence maintains that range, doesn't give Brook anything, Brook's going to get pieced up, in my opinion. In my opinion, at least. G-Man Boxing, Bud wins when Kell Brook's corner retires him after 10. Yeah, you could see that. You could see that, like the towel coming in, something like that. Jim McDonald's corner. That's a bigger weight advantage than me versus my Elizabeth, so it is. Sal West, big up to Sal West. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Browne was a handful 5 years ago, but the beatdown from White was brutal. He should go back to MMA as they're much slower. Yo, he'd get squashed in MMA now as well, Lucas Browne, to be honest. I think the guy should really retire. He's only going to be used as a knockout for hire now, you know, to make a young prospect look good. That's what Lucas Browne is really here for now. You know? That's all he's here for. And yeah, he'll get knocked out again real soon. Yeah, I saw that, JB. We was talking about Lovejoy earlier. The fight could be off because some promotional contract issues. Apparently, the guy's got a contract with Don King that wasn't disclosed, and now Don King is pissed, and the fight's in jeopardy. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's what happens when you scour the world for obscure heavyweights for an opponent, you know? That sort of stuff happens. I mean, the guy's career is shrouded in mystery. What did they expect to happen, you know? I'm not surprised at all. Nordic Kingdom, I'll be surprised if Lovejoy goes past 3 rounds. Yeah, bro, the guy looks like a fat mess, if we're being honest. He looks out of shape. Looks like he's got 2 rounds in him at best, kind of thing. I mean, yeah, bro, he doesn't look anything special, does he? Looks like a fat mess, if we're being honest. Big up to Harvey Hughes. What's up? What do you think of UCTV's new style of videos? I've been enjoying them, Harvey. I've been enjoying them. I watched the last one last night. But yeah, I've been enjoying it, bro. Exactly, Johnny, man. Hit the like. Get it up. Yes, sir. Get it up. That's what she said, man. Get it up. Big Boys Boxing. Could it be Alan Babbage as a replacement for Lovejoy? That would be interesting. If it was Alan Babbage, I'd be pleasantly surprised. Big Boys Boxing, but I can't see it happening. I think it's going to be someone like Tom Little, someone along those lines. You know, that sort of level of opponent. I don't think it's going to be any better than that. Declan McCarthy, do you think Eddie's done Brook dirty considering he saved the day and stepped in for Eubank versus Golovkin? I mean, this is the sort of behaviour we see in boxing all of the time. I don't get why fighters befriend promoters, because once your sell-by date has expired, they're gonna cast you aside. Kell Brook, in a sense, is to blame because you can't show blind loyalty to promoters. You've got to look after number one. Kell Brook has been with Matchroom on a fight-by-fight basis. Reality is, when Kell Brook won that welterweight title and Eddie Hearn couldn't get him an opponent, he should have fucked off to America and signed with Al Heyman to get the big welterweights. That's what he should have done. But he showed loyalty, and look where it's got him. It got him fights with the likes of Kevin Bizier, Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, and his fucking head caved in by Golovkin. That's where it got him. Kell Brook should have actually joined Al Heyman, in my opinion. Just my opinion. But yeah, I think Eddie's been a bit out of order. Should have really just kept it stum, I think. What happened to MVP's boxing career? Got no fucking clue. All I know is that guy got knocked out in MMA. And yeah, that's the last time I saw that guy. He got leveled in MMA. He got knocked out badly. Was it against Douglas Lima or someone like that? But yeah, he got fucked up. G-Man Boxing, Lucas Browne had one decent fight against Shagayev before and since he's done nothing. You're right, G-Man. And I truly believe Lucas Browne was on all sorts of PEDs that night because he looked so much better than he's ever looked, as you've said. You know, he was moving better. His hands were quicker. He was taking a lot of punishment. And he looked better than he's ever looked before or since. I think Lucas was on PEDs that night. And obviously he actually did test positive after that fight. So yeah, I do believe Lucas was juicing in that one. I do. Yeah, I'll be surprised if this pay-per-view does well, JB Low. But you know, the casual fans, they are aware of Chisora, and he is somewhat of a big name in the UK. So maybe Chisora can sell it in a sense, but I don't really see it doing all that well. It's not going to do bigger numbers than White Povetkin. And what did that do? Just over 200,000, 250, something like that. So yeah, if they could hit 200,000, I'll be very surprised. G-Men Boxing, if Lovejoy versus Allen is competitive, then Allen should never be anywhere near a boxing ring again. I agree, bro. I agree. You know, part of me wants Chris Lovejoy to win. Like I was saying the other night, G-Man, that'd be hilarious. This like Mr. Chubby Checker coming over and knocking out Dave Allen. That'd be fucking hilarious. Ah, look at Johnny Boy coming in here with that football soccer nonsense. Look at him. Just how bad is that IFL advert? Yeah. Is your deck, what is it? Is your deck causing you sleepless nights? Knock your deck out with deck KO. Blah, fucking nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Dave Allen versus Cash Ali. That's another good shout. I could see that happening. That's the sort of level of opponent I expect for Dave Allen if Lovejoy falls through. Like a area level / English level fighter kind of thing. Look at, D Jefferson. He's not holding back. I agree, D. I agree. Allen already shouldn't be in near a boxing ring again. Yeah, I agree, bro. So St. Britt, the fight's not cancelled, but it's in jeopardy. And if the fight doesn't go through, apparently Eddie Hearn's got a backup for Dave Allen. Apparently, so there we go. Jim McDonald's corner. My dream is to watch a British title fight in an igloo in a supermarket car park. If only there was a promoter that could make it happen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've got to admit, I am a little disappointed with the lack of creativity from these boxing promoters. There's no crowd. Fucking stage these fights in random places, like on a fucking skyscraper or something. Do something crazy, you know? Do something crazy. Yeah, I agree, Johnny. Back in the day, I think, listen, if you're talking like 2015, 2016 type of time, 2014, I think Brook would have been competitive with any welterweight. I really do. I think he would have beaten Danny Garcia. I think he could have beaten Keith Thurman. Floyd would have beaten him in that time period, but I think he could have beaten most guys around in his prime. But just my opinion, I could be wrong. That's only hypothetical, you know. But it is what it is. Yeah, I should really be highlighting these comments. Makes it a lot easier for people watching back, I guess. Are you interested in Lee Selby versus George Kambosos? Yeah, somewhat. BG London. The fight itself is relatively competitive, relatively evenly matched. So yeah, I'm interested in that sense, and I'm leaning towards Kambosos, to be honest, just because I don't think Lee Selby's a lightweight. He's looked terrible at lightweight in both of his fights against Ricky Burns and Omar Douglas. Those fights were very close, in my opinion. And Kambosos is a fresh, strong lightweight. Not the best guy in the world, kind of limited, but he could outwork Lee Selby and push him back. I could see Kambosos winning on points, to be honest. But yeah, it's okay. It's an okay fight. It's an okay fight. Hearn is trying to schmooze Don King, but Don King hasn't bitten so far. Yeah, Don King's stubborn. Don King is stubborn. You're going to have to pay that man and pay him well, basically. Exactly, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. I think Brook should have done that back in after he won that title against Sean Porter. He would have got paid and he would have got the big fights. You know? Why would those guys let Kell Brook in at that time? But there we go. The 90s, Browne was roided to the sky in that fight. He was, bro. He was. Thoughts on Mark Hunt versus Paul Gallen at Blue Collar Sports TV? Is that a boxing match, Big Boys Boxing? Is that on the undercard of Tim Zhu, by any chance? Because I heard about Paul Gallen fighting. But in a boxing match, I think I'd favour Mark Hunt, to be honest. Mark Hunt. I need to be really clear when I say that, don't I? Mark Hunt. could be worse. It could be Mike, couldn't it? I guess. Yeah, Crazy D3, Kambosos, he's relatively exciting. He tries to force the fight, applies pressure, throws wide punches. He'll come to fight, Kambosos. His skill level's not really all that high. I don't think he's going to beat anybody legit in the top 10, but he's okay. He is what he is, really. He's okay. But I think that could be enough to beat Lee Selby, to be honest. I really do. The pay-per-view is dry as a nun's tit. Fact. 100%, bro. I'm not buying it. I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream that shit. All day, every day. Ah, look at Johnny Boy cussing out Man United now. What is this, man? What is this shit, bruv? Big up to Johnny Boy, though. Big up. Yeah. Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with debt KO. Fucking nonsense, innit? First and foremost, yeah, Kugan Cassius, the guy's a chancer, but you got to respect it. He went from advertising gambling companies. The next day, my man's advertising debt fucking management companies. You couldn't make it up, could you? It's hilarious. You got to respect the hustle, though. You got to respect it. I mean, I can't hate. I can't hate on it. Yeah, that's the only negative, BG London, I've got about this fight. Both guys are going to get fucking starched by Teofimo. That's the only issue I have. Yeah, it was Douglas Lima. Okay, I thought it was who knocked out MVP. Yeah. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Kambosos for 90s. Kambosos on points, I would say. I think he's going to work a bit too hard, you know? Yeah, those adverts are cringe. Every single time Kugan does a voiceover, it's terrible. Honestly. Christ. It really is bad. Okay, I saw Rick Glazer say that he's seen Lovejoy fight and that he's terrible. Can only take a man's word who has seen him fight with no footage out there. Yeah, exactly. Is Rick Glazer trustworthy? I don't really know, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of his training footage, I mean, Christopher Lovejoy really doesn't look anything special. I've seen guys in the gym who look just as good. I know that doesn't really tell the full story, seeing someone hit a heavy bag or hit the pads, you know, but yeah, he doesn't look great to me, bro. Doesn't look great to me. Yo, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. I actually saw no, don't. Sorry, I was getting confused there. Murat Gassiev versus Jared Anderson. I'd love to see it, especially stylistically, because Anderson's a come-forward guy, likes to kind of bang in the pocket, work the body, and be aggressive. And as we know, Gassiev can punch. He's a good counter-puncher who can also trade. It's a very good stylistic fight, but right now, I wouldn't look at Gassiev for Anderson. Anderson is still very young. I think he needs a bit of seasoning. I think the guy's got a lot of talent. To me, he's the best heavyweight prospect in America. So I would take my time with Anderson, to be honest. Just get him tough, durable journeyman for his next 4 or 5 fights. Get some rounds in, and then maybe end of next year we can start looking at those fights. But I wouldn't rush it right now. with Gassiev. I wouldn't really know who to pick, to be honest, in that fight. We don't really know how good Anderson is. All for that matter, Gassiev at heavyweight. But I'd watch it, man. I'd watch it. What about Savannah Marshall versus the Carpet Muncher? Oh, BG London. Look at BG coming in here, talking about stuff that's going to trigger me. I'm not going to watch it, BG. I'm going to be making a cup of coffee, going for a wee. I don't know, mate. I'm not going to watch it, though. I ain't going to watch it, bro. No way, Jose. Eager to see if Dana White shots a spanner in the works. Someone needs to. Are there whispers that he'll be working with Lou DiBella? I mean, listen, Dana White, I think if he puts his mind to it, he can be successful. But at the end of the day, it's a much different scene to the MMA world. It's much, much different. You know, things that Dana White can get away with in the UFC, he won't be able to get away with in boxing. So he needs to adjust his philosophy and obviously come up with a strategy before he gets into boxing. It's going to be very tough, but I think he's got the gift of the gab, certainly, to be a great promoter. But we'll see what his strategy is if he does actually come into boxing. I'll be interested to see what happens. I'll be interested. But yeah, shit, fucking hell. Yeah, big up to Saint Brit, by the way. I'm not sure whether I've shouted you out yet. Big up to Saint Brit. Salute every single time. Every single time. Was he actually Jim McDonald's corner? Coogan was advertising them both together at one point until people started giving him abuse. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy, you know. That's crazy. I've got no clue what happened to James Helder. Do you think Vladimir and Hayden Pantier did the missionary position? I mean, listen, if I was Vladimir, I think I'd have done fucking everything with Hayden, trust me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd assume so. I'd assume so. Yeah, listen, Bump of K, there's always an element of truth to comedy. And Ty and Booth, no matter what you think of the guy, I love his content. But no matter what you think of the guy, he gets a lot of stuff bang on or very near bang on, in my opinion, when he talks about certain people in the scene, whether it be Michelle Hoare Phelps, Coogan, Eddie Hearn, or whoever it may be. Prime Bernard Hopkins versus Canelo, who you got? In a fair world, you would say Bernard Hopkins, but in Vegas, probably Canelo, to be honest, on points. I mean, it's hard to beat that guy on points. And Bernard would not knock out Canelo. No way. No way in hell. No way in hell. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tyan was fucking high as a kite in that video. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, James Helder, he actually has a football channel, BG London. I forget what it's called, though. I forget what it's called. But he's got a football channel where he interviews, like, ex-footballers and whatnot. But yeah, big up to James Helder. Yeah, big up James Helder. Status of a plum. My boy them. Status of a plum. I don't trust Dave Allen. This is the 90s, sorry. I don't trust Dave Allen. I think he bets on his own fights. And I don't buy his feel sorry for me shit he promotes. Yo, the 90s. It's funny you say that with Dave Allen. I don't think this guy is a good role model at all. I don't think the guy's honest. Listen, I really intend to make a video on Dave Allen, but I feel like I'll be too harsh and I'll trigger a lot of people due to the subject matter. But maybe in the future, I'm going to make a video on Dave Allen, going into basically kind of sharing my thoughts on his promotional tactics and everything in between, you know. But I'm not a fan of Dave Allen personally. I think he's a nice guy. Like, he's probably got a good heart, but yeah, I don't like a lot of the stuff that he says and does and how he promotes himself, to be honest. But there we go. It is what it is. Good fight intangible. Chris John versus Gary Russell Jr. Chris John was a really, really good technical boxer. And he gave Marquez a good fight, but I felt Marquez beat him, but he showed that he could hang at a certain level in that bout. I'd probably say Chris John maybe close points win. Chris John maybe. Close fight though. That's a close fight in my opinion. James Helder lives in Smithy's basement and is fed on the remains of Cabbage Journeyman. Oh shit! I nearly put someone in time out there. Jesus Christ! That's the thing with StreamYard. Yeah, you got to be really careful what you click. Chris John versus Eusebio Pedrosa. Pedrosa. Even in Indonesia. Even in Indonesia. Prime Roy Jones versus Baturbiev at light heavyweight. Unfortunately, Prime Roy Jones. Roy Jones on points, I would say. I don't think Roy Jones would stop him at light heavyweight, but Roy Jones outpoints him. Too fast, hands are too quick, feet are too quick. He'll be in and out, picking his moments. Yeah, I would take Roy Jones in that one personally, you know. But yeah, I'd love to see it, D. I would love to see it. I mean, if I was managing, let's say I was managing Jared Anderson right now, if you're asking me what his next opponent should be, I'd throw him in there with someone like Joey DeWaco, for example. Like a tough guy who's got a great chin, can go rounds. That's who I would put him in with next. Someone like Joey DeWaco. I think that would be good matchmaking on Anderson's part. But I like Anderson. I like his style of fighting. I like his inside work, his body work. You don't see many heavyweights do that. And he's very, very young. So he's got a lot of upside. He really does. And he's been getting great sparring. Sparred Tyson Fury. He's been developing very well. So yeah, I think Jared Anderson, very good prospect. Very good prospect. I like him a lot. Big up to AZ. Shout out to AZ every single time. Salute. Salute, salute, salute. Gassiev fighting a bum this weekend, isn't he? He isn't. Yeah, he is indeed. He's fighting Nuri Seferi, Sefa Seferi's brother, also a cruiserweight. So there we go. There we go. Jermaine whooped B-Hop twice, then shot his cousin. Yeah, Jermaine right now is not in a good place, man. I think boxing turned that guy into a crazy man, basically, because Jermaine Taylor on the come up was always seen as like a very humble guy, great athlete. He was one of those fighters. He even said it himself. He didn't really like boxing. He was just good at it, so he stuck with it. And yeah, he made a career for himself. But yeah, boxing certainly taken a lot from him physically and mentally. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But he was a good fighter, man. He was a good fighter. DW23, thoughts on Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. on pay-per-view in the UK, laugh out loud. Yo, I ain't buying that shit. Listen, if you want to buy it, buy it. But my only problem, really, not that fight's on pay-per-view, it's the fact that BT are showing this on pay-per-view, but they wasn't willing to pick up Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. That's what wound me up. They can find a fucking spot for this garbage, but they can't pick up a unification fight at lightweight. Embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. Yeah, yo, Timmy, I saw that. And I was talking about that start of a stream. Great news. Great news, man. At least it's not going to be on some obscure app or some obscure channel that you have to pay for. Very good. Very good news. Big up to Paul Christmas. Big up to you, sir. Big up to you. Not seen you I've not seen you here before, Paul. So if you're new here, big up to you, brother. Big up to you. Hope Dave Allen doesn't fight Lovejoy. Been searching around town Hope Dave Allen doesn't fight Lovejoy. Been searching around town, all trying to find the bookies to stick Dave Allen by KO. Yeah, I've not seen odds on Allen by knockout either. Yo, it's ridiculous, Johnny. It's fucking ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But there we go. Shit. Yeah, bro, you couldn't listen. You would have to pay me to stay up and watch it for free. I'm not going to pay for it, and I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch the highlights for next day on YouTube more than likely. But yeah, I'm not really interested, to be honest. I'm not really interested. Terry O'Connor, take the train, get out of Dodge. Yo, jump in front of the train. You know what I mean? Terry O'Connor. I shouldn't have said that really, should I? But it's been said now, so we can't go back. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it isn't what it isn't. Yes, exactly. Make me a fucking BLT. Yeah, there we go. 100%. 100%. Big up to Jerome. Shout out to you, sir. Hopefully you're doing well on this fine Thursday evening. It's absolutely horrible in the UK. It's pissing down a rain, windy, dark, depressing, gloomy. You can't do anything. I mean, right now the world is absolutely fucking crazy, but we got to keep on going, man. Keep on soldiering away. This shit is just temporary, man. We're gonna get through it and do our thing. You know how it is. You know how it is. Johnny Boy, he doesn't rate Jared Anderson. I think the guy's a good talent, man. I think he's a good talent considering like how old he is and what he's showing right now. I wouldn't chuck him in there deep anywhere near now. Give him the right fights, for the right learning fights, and in a few years' time, I think the guy could be good. I do. I think he's a decent prospect. Someone's going to get hurt. I do like these quotes, by the way. I do like them. I do like them. I do enjoy them. I think I've missed a few bits here. Virgil versus Boots Ennis. Who have you got? Oh, that's a hard one, man. Virgil's more proven in regards to who he's beaten, to be honest. I know he's not beaten a fucking murderer's row, but his opponents have been better. I listen, man, that's too hard. I need to see more from both. But I rate both extremely highly. I think both are very good prospects, the best prospects in the welterweight division. I like both guys. Virgil, very, very good boxer puncher, I would say. Very composed. He's got his head screwed on right, powerful. Virgil's a very good talent. And Jaron Ennis, great hand speed. He can trade up close. He can box. He's got power. He's a good fighter himself as well. That's a very good fight for the future. I'd love to see it, I would love to see it. Beautiful fight, man. Beautiful fight. Tio versus Haney, who have you got? You've got to go with Tio, man. Listen, Tio, to me, I was very impressed with Tio. He proved me wrong. And listen, when somebody proves me wrong, I'm not one of these people who come out with excuses. I'm happy to be proven wrong when somebody performs like that. And I thought Tio performed really well. He's a much better fighter than I gave him credit for. And yeah, right now I've got to go with Teofimo to beat Devin. I think Devin's a good fighter, but he's not proven yet. We've seen Teofimo beat Lomachenko, and even Richard Comey is a good fighter. We know what Teofimo's about, so we've got to go with Teofimo in that one. We have to. Yeah, boxing destroyed Jermaine Taylor, G-Man. Like I said, man, Jermaine Taylor was like a pretty humble dude, well-spoken, didn't really trash talk. He was what he was, just in there for his check, and he was good at boxing, but he stayed in too long. I think the thing with Jermaine Taylor, the knockout against Abraham and that late knockout against Carl Froch really messed him up. He should have retired after that, but he came back somehow after failing like a brain scan. He had a bleed on the brain or something like that, and he still came back. It is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't. Adam Scott, Evening Dell. I was actually astonished. They are charging for Jones Tyson. I'm not astonished, Adam Scott. I mean, we've been charged for fucking KSI versus Logan Paul over here. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. I don't think it's going to do very well, though. Yeah, St. Britt. Leo versus Tank is on Channel 5, believe it or not. Free to air. That's great news. I know it's not the best fight in the world, but it's great that it's free. I'll stay up and watch it if I'm not doing anything. I'll stay up. Exactly, DW23. It makes you wonder, why not go for that fight? I mean, it's got a British guy involved. Why not go for Brook versus Crawford? But there we go. Paul Christmas. I've been in before Blue Collar Sports TV. Don't worry, sir. Shit. James Toney would beat Dave Allen this Saturday. Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious. Christ almighty. Yeah, we got 51 people in the chat. Smash for like. You guys know that always helps. That's what the big YouTubers say. Smash the like, lads, and all that shit. The nerds down at Silicon Valley like it. They'll push you in the algorithm, and there we go. That's how it works, apparently. All these nerds will push up the channel if you guys like the video, basically. That's how it works. Ah, look at Johnny Boy. Look at Johnny Boy just shitting on my boy Jared Anderson. Chris Arreola knocks out Jared Anderson. The only thing Chris Arreola knocks out these days is a fucking Corona and a fucking taco, mate. That's the only thing he knocks out these days. That's the only thing he's going to be knocking out. Trust me. But we'll see fucking Chris Arreola get recycled again soon, won't we? We'll see it soon. Yeah, I wouldn't buy it, Adam Scott. I wouldn't buy it if it was pay-per-view. Out of all of the prospects at lightweight, who's your pick to come out on top? I mean, if we're just talking about the young fighters at lightweight, like Tio, Tank, Ryan, Devin, I would go with obviously Teofimo. To be honest, I'd go with Teofimo. But really, right now, are any of these guys prospects? Two of these guys hold world titles. Well, Tank Davis does if you count a regular belt, and obviously Ryan Garcia is fighting for an interim. Would you even call these guys prospects anymore? They are young, but yeah, to answer your question, I would say Teofimo. Anderson is fighting Payner next, the guy who just lost to Polite Coffee, rugged opponent. Yeah, there's no rush with Jared Anderson, to be honest. There's no rush. They can take their time, you know. They can take their time. It is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing how his career develops. I do like his style. There's a lot of prospects I like, though. There's a lot of prospects I like in the heavyweight division right now. There's a lot. Jesus Christ, what are we fucking doing here? Fucking open something that I never even knew existed. What the fuck's that about? Christ almighty. All over the gaff. We're all over the fucking gaff. Christ. Anyway, where are we at? Big Dell in this bitch, 100%. Smash the like. Smash that like. It helps us out. It really does. Jared Anderson will never touch a belt, mark it down. You could be right, Johnny. I mean, with heavyweight prospects, it's always hard to say because one wrong move, their career is basically done. Look at David Price. One bad bit of matchmaking, and this guy's the butt of everybody's jokes. Do you know what I mean? It's hard with heavyweights to really predict who's going to go out on top. But there's a few guys right now who look good. We'll see who makes it, though. We'll see who makes it. Going to be interesting. Levi Khan, he's got Tio versus Devin would be fun. I've got Devin right now. Too much power? No, I don't know about Devin's power. I think Devin's a good boxer. He's relatively active. He's quite versatile, but I think Tio's the guy with the power advantage in that fight. Very good counter puncher as well, Tio. And Devin does get hit. Sometimes he overcommits to his attacks, and he gets kind of tagged up sometimes. I could see Tio catching him coming in. But it's a good fight. I think Devin needs to really make Teofimo take the lead in that fight. Make Teofimo come forwards and chase the fight. That's what I think Devin should do in that one, personally. You know? Oh, Jermaine Taylor's in prison right now. I never knew that, you know? I never knew that. Yeah, but again, I mean, another one of those guys who boxing has just like swallowed up kind of thing. There's a lot of fighters like that. Man, which is unfortunate. But what can we do? Man? Jared Anderson is a bum. I think he's a good prospect, man. It's too early. It's really too early. But the early signs, a 22-year-old kid, he looks pretty good, man. He looks pretty good in my opinion. Certainly someone to look out for, I would say. Fury versus Jarrell Miller in December. Could you imagine? That would actually do big numbers in the UK in terms of pay-per-view because everyone knows who Jarrell Miller is, all for the wrong reasons, but it would do big numbers. It's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. It'd be hilarious, though, if it did. I'd watch it, 100%. Yo, Levi Khan, That should be the case, but I guarantee you, Jarrell Miller will fight again. If it's not in America, he'll go to Russia, he'll go to wherever. He'll go to wherever to fight. Mexico, fucking Timbuktu. He'll fight again, trust me. He will fight again. Honestly, he will definitely fight again. Jared Anderson is the last hope, Harold Lederman. Oh, Christ. The ironic thing is, yeah, the guys you would expect to get behind this guy, they've not been getting behind him. I mean, I've been talking about this guy more than they have, you know? But there we go. They're proper boxing fans, though. Is what it is. Fucking mongs, a lot of them. I can do what I want. I'm looking at Adam Smith. Del, would you go on Porky's channel for a Zoom chat? Never say never. Never say never. Listen, man, Porky's all right. He is what he is, man. He's all right. He's a funny dude. It is what it is, man. I actually watched one of his videos after the Terry O'Connor debacle. And that was actually pretty to the point, actually. I quite enjoyed that. So, yeah, Porky's a funny dude, man. He's a funny dude. Yeah, the Munguia Johnson card. Yeah, I actually like that main event, Big Dan. I think that's going to be a bit of a barn burner while it lasts. Turiano Johnson's a tough kid. He can punch a bit. Munguia should have too much, but I think it's going to be relatively competitive while it lasts. I would say Munguia gets him out of there late on. Good little fight, though. Good little fight. See, I've got no problem with Munguia taking these sort of fights now that he's not a champion. When he was a champion, he was fighting absolute shit, which I disagreed with. But now he's not got a belt. It's okay taking these development fights. He's still very young. I think Munguia's like 23 still. He's like 23, maybe 24. He's still very young. So he's got time. But yeah, I don't really see Munguia being like an elite guy, but he's fun to watch. He's fun to watch, man. Nuri Safari and Sefa Safari, how are they even that bad? Like, do they train laugh out loud? Yeah, they're not great. They're not great. I only take women on dates to Chipotle. It has a cheap menu, and they have to keep it in the $8 range. Yo, you got to be frugal, man. You got to be frugal. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. I like to be as cheap as possible as well, without coming across as cheap, you know. But there we go. Let's go for a walk on our first date, you know. Let's not go to a fucking restaurant or anything like that. Let's go for a walk. Oh, shit. JB Low, I still can't believe the state of the Usyk Chisora pay-per-view card. What other fights are on the card? I'm assuming it's 20 quid. Yes, it is 20 quid. And we have obviously Usyk versus Chisora, Lee Selby versus George Kambosos, Dave Allen versus Christopher Lovejoy. What else have we got on that card? I've forgotten, to be honest. It's that bad. There's a couple of female fights, which I don't care about. Yeah, it's a crap card. It's a garbage card. Straight up garbage. Straight up garbage. Callum Smith will probably fight Jurgen Bremer next. Wouldn't be shocked. Doubt he fights Ryder and Fielding wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, I'll read that again. That was awful. Callum Smith will probably fight Jurgen Bremer next. Wouldn't be shocked. Doubt he fights Ryder. I can't even fucking read tonight. Doubt he fights Ryder, and Fielding wouldn't make much sense. Yeah. I mean, Callum Smith right now is in no man's land, to be honest. I'm not really interested in Callum Smith. If he retired tomorrow, wouldn't really care, to be honest. I think the thing with Callum Smith is he's won the World Boxing Super Series. He got paid silly money in that tournament. And right now, he's not getting that sort of money again. He's used to that sort of money now. So he's not going to fight these guys for low purses. You know, it is what it is. Chris Arreola versus Deontay Wilder 2, the Reckoning pay-per-view coming soon. Who do you think Wilder's going to fight next if he doesn't fight Fury? I'm not even sure, you know. I would say maybe Charles Martin, I could see. I think that will happen. Wilder versus Charles Martin if he doesn't fight Fury. That's my guess anyway. Because Charles Martin is number 1 ranked with the IBF, so would make sense, wouldn't it? It would make sense. Also, you could market Charles Martin as a former world champion. big up to James Thornton every single time. Big up to Liam Normand. What about Arslanbek Makhmudov? Yet another heavyweight prospect who I rate. Recently knocked out Dylan Carman, one-shot KO. Big puncher, power in both hands, good amateur background, strong as an ox. Makhmudov's going to give a lot of guys problems. He's a scary, scary prospect. A lot of guys are not going to fight him. That's going to be his problem, is matchmaking. A lot of these lower tier sort of guys are not going to want to fight Makhmudov. They're going to demand really big purses to fight this dude. And that's going to make it difficult to matchmake for Makhmudov, unfortunately. But he's a good prospect, Liam. He's a very good prospect. Nathan Majidov, I think, is fighting on the... Oh, I want to say Danny Jacobs undercard, maybe. I think. But he's fighting on one of those cards coming up soon on the Zone. Put 20 quid on all the favourites and stream it, lads. Yeah, exactly, bro. You make your money back. And then some. Yeah, salute to Johnny Boy, by the way. Big up to Johnny. Thanks for dropping by. Shit, I'm fucking far behind, you know. I'm far behind. I do apologise, guys. I do apologise. If Dave Allen doesn't fight, are you more or less likely to purchase the pay-per-view? To be honest, DW23, I'm not going to buy it anyway. I don't see the value there. I don't think the headliner is strong enough, and the undercard really is poor. I wouldn't mind buying it if it had like a stacked undercard. I would buy it then, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know? Yo, Levi Khan, you say that, but it's boxing. It's boxing. You'll definitely see Jarrell Miller fight again. Maybe not in the next 6 months. Maybe not in the next 12. But I guarantee you he'll fight again. Guaranteed. 100%. Big Titty Miller's an idiot. He is, man. He is. He is. Oh, don't get me started on Billy Joe Saunders. I mentioned this the other day. I was going to make a video on Billy Joe versus Martin Murray. But do you know what? I don't always like making negative videos, so I just left it, basically. But Martin Murray's not good enough. It's not good enough. I mean, Martin Murray, he lost to Hassan and Dam in 2018. He looked shot to bits in that fight. 2 years later, after beating 2 journeymen, he's got a world title shot. 38 years old Martin Murray, not looked good in a long, long time. It's really, really poor. And what I was told by someone close to it, I said this the other day, I was told that John Ryder was willing to take the exact same amount of money as Martin Murray to fight Billy Joe. But Billy Joe did not want to fight John Ryder. That's what I was told. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But if it is true, shame on Billy Joe, because John Ryder would have been a very good opponent. And the first fight was actually very close. If you go back and watch Billy Joe versus John Ryder, that first fight was close. John Ryder gave him a really hard fight. Really hard fight. Chris Lovejoy, then Trevor Bryan is Dave Allen's next 2 opponents. I think Trevor Bryan beats him, to be honest. I think Trevor Bryan beats Dave Allen. Trevor Bryan's okay-ish. He's okay. Da-da-da. Lovejoy's out, beating him without a slap. Adam Scott. Billy wants the Canelo payday, and then Callum Smith. Eubanks then retire probably. Yeah. Billy Joe, Callum Smith. They're all kind of hanging around for the same fights, aren't they? Really. But there we go. What can we say? Levi Khan, from a USA perspective, I don't understand why you hate on Dave Allen, Del Boy. Can you expand upon this, OG? I think you know why I hate Dave Allen. I think you're trying to wind me up. But in short, listen, it's not that the guy's limited as a fighter or he lacks talent. It's not that. It's the lack of application and the fact that this guy gets so many opportunities. The guy's been on how many pay-per-view cards? 8 pay-per-view cards. He's probably turned up in shape once, I would say, if that. And he still gets these opportunities. He's not particularly entertaining, to be honest. And yeah, I don't like how he markets himself, what he uses to market his career. I think it's very disingenuous. I don't want to spell it out, but again, I do intend to make a video on Dave Allen. I think it's very distasteful what he does and how he sells his career, and I think he's very dishonest, to be honest. But yeah, there we go. St. Brit Sports don't really like women's boxing, but Savannah probably my favourite women's boxer. Yeah, Savannah has a bit more of a mean style, I guess, but yeah, not for me still. I ain't gonna lie. Not for me. But she does try to punch. I'll give her credit, I guess. Yeah, I agree, Levi. That's how I see it. Good test for Munguia, but Jamie's going to win, yeah. Or Jaime. Jaime's going to win. Jaime's going to win. Pull 1, 2, 3. He's got worms. Well, sorry, sir. I can only send my condolences your way. I can only send my condolences. Jaime Munguia is a bum. He's defensively very lax, isn't he? He's a fun fighter. He is what he is, really, isn't he? A fringe contender, I would say, at middleweight. He is what he is. He is what he is, and he isn't what he isn't. There we go. £10 on Chisora by decision returns 230 quid. Yo, I can't see Chisora winning on points, but it's worth a bet. With odds like that, it's worth a go. It's worth a go. You know, it's hard for foreign fighters to get decisions in the UK. Maybe it could happen. Maybe it could happen. Now, this is nonsense, Levi Khan. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Bring back Big Baby Miller. We need characters. Laugh out loud. Yeah, the guy is funny. I ain't gonna lie. He is funny. Yeah, thank you, D. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Anybody heard about Lovejoy having legal problems with Don King and it affecting the Allen fight? Yeah, it's basically in no man's land right now, Liam. The fight could be on, it could be off, but we're going to see what happens, basically. They need to sort it out. There we go. One of those things, man. One of those things. Yep, Adam Scott. The John Ryder fight was always the fight that Callum should have had next. He needs to right that wrong, basically. And he lost that fight. He knows it. I know it. You know it. Everyone knows it. But he doesn't want to make it right, which is unfortunate because, do you know what? I've said it so many times, man, but I really feel for John Ryder. I felt he boxed a beautiful fight against a much bigger man, showed great skill set, a great game plan. He got it right that night and he got fucking robbed. That is the robbery. In the last 18 months, that's probably the robbery that winds me up the most. Really, really, really gets to me, that fight. Really gets to me. But there we go. Yes, salute to Pigeon Mike Tyson up there in Birmingham. Hopefully you're keeping well, Pigeon. My good sir. Christopher Lovejoy being talked up like he's Mike Tyson. In reality, he's not even a Poundland Nick Webb. Exactly, Pigeon. This guy is going to be fucked after 2 rounds. He's a fat mess. He looks terrible on the heavy bag, looks terrible on the pads. There's no footage of this guy fighting. It doesn't add up, does it? This guy's going to be garbage, essentially. He's going to be garbage. JD80, Wilder should fight Andy Ruiz Jr. maybe. Yeah, that'd be a good fight, JD. Now, that'd be a good fight. I'd watch that. Good style clash as well. Very good fight. I'd love to see that, you know. Two former heavyweight champions, both guys top 10. Winner of that fight's in a really good position. That'd be a great fight. That'd be a brilliant fight. And I'd imagine that fight would do well on pay-per-view in the States, actually. Hispanic audience. Wilder's got his fan base. That's a good fight. That is a good fight. Both guys with PBC. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, exactly, St. Brit. I think we'd all like that fight. We'd all like that fight. I think it's winnable for both guys, to be honest. I actually think Wilder could beat Andy Ruiz. Wilder just can't afford to trade, fall in, and get caught by Ruiz. If Wilder fights like he fought Stavern in the first fight, move, jab, I think Andy's going to have a real hard time, just based on the pure physical disadvantages that he's got. And he's got slow feet as well. I don't think you need to be a great boxer to outbox Andy Ruiz if you had that sort of physical advantage, But there we go. Be a great fight. It'd be a very good fight. Dave Allen said, sorry, Don King said he wants 1 million and a cuddle from me to make the Lovejoy fight. I'm not letting him near me. To be honest, Mr. Relax, and by the way, big up to Mr. Relax, nice of you to drop by. How do you think Johnny Fisher and Solomon Dacres will be? To be honest, I've not seen either guy. I've not seen any footage, Mr. Relax. I've heard a bit about Johnny Fisher recently. Going to be interesting. I'll keep an eye out on them. I know they've turned pro, so yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, be good to see what they do. Be good to see what they do. I agree, Levi Khan. I think Kambosos is going to be too fresh, too young, too strong for Lee Selby. I think he'll outwork him. Christ, where are we at? I'm fucking so far behind. What is wrong with me? So far behind. Oh well. Let's kind of lost myself now, but there we go. Fishy's news round. He's enjoying himself in the chat. Big up to Fishy's news round. Salute to you, sir, or madam, whatever you are. Overhand. Billy Joe Saunders is washed. Surprised he's still being talked about amongst the elite. I guess it's because he's still got a title overhand, but reality is he's not looked good since 2017. So he could be washed. He could be fucked. He could be done. That's great news, MMA Champ Go. Great news that the Zone are coming to the UK. It's a cheap alternative for a lot of fans. And yeah, Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell for £1.99 is a good deal, basically. But Joshua Pulev is going to be on Sky, though. That's not going to be DAZN UK. That's going to be Sky pay-per-view. It's going to be Sky pay-per-view. Jesus Christ, Fishy's news round's getting a bit aggro in the chat. He's having a right good time. Christ. No, Unrivaled. It's pay-per-view Sky Sports still. Yeah, I think we're gonna get rid of Fishies. We're gonna put him in timeout for a little while because some of those messages are disturbing me. I love you and all that. Listen, man, chill, Winston, chill. A little bit disturbing. You can say what you want in this chat, apart from creepy shit like that, But yeah, salute to Unrivaled Boxing Talk. By the way, mate, I saw your video in regards to the top 30 pound for pound list. Very good stuff, man. Very good stuff. You got a lot of people to contribute to that, man. That was good stuff. I enjoyed that. Very good. Yeah, Gallagher did. Yeah, he roasted Eddie and Sky, but he apologized afterwards. So it's kind of what it is, really, isn't it? Just Joe Gallagher being Joe Gallagher. If I watch a Dave Allen video, because I see it more as a comeback story like the Cinderella Man or some shit. Haha. Yeah, fuck Dave Allen, man. Yo, Adam Scott, save your money. Trust me, he's gonna be absolute garbage. This guy, Christopher Lovejoy. Just save your money, man. Save your money, mate. Honestly. Yes, yeah, I agree. Levi Khan. I think Andrade would beat Munguia. I'd still watch it though. It's a good fight. It's decent enough. It's all right. I'd watch it. Freddie Flintoff could have unified the heavyweight division. Yo, his hand speed, the angles, the combination punching, natural athlete. Freddie Flintoff was a great prospect, no doubt about it. Brilliant prospect. He could do everything. Had a great chin, crushing power, just like poetry in motion. Freddie Flintoff. One of the best talents I've ever seen in boxing. And I'm not being sarcastic. He was great. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Callum Smith's the most overhyped world champion in Britain. I think that title either goes to Callum or Billy Joe right now. One of the two. Maybe both. Maybe both. Who's the best promoter of the last 20 years? Got to be Eddie or Leonard Ellaby, but he doesn't get max credit. I mean, Bob Arum, maybe. Eddie Hearn's up there as well. One of those two, I would say. Yeah, exactly. Unrivaled. I'm starting to think this guy's never even fought before, and he's like a master record by fraud, and he's just cashing out. That's what I'm assuming. He went to a couple of boxer-size classes, somehow forged a BoxRec record, and now he's got this fight. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Proper chancer, like you said. Proper chancer. Crazy shit, man. It's crazy. Oh, go away. What the fuck's that shit about? Fuck's sake. Fucking YouTube's an absolute cunt sometimes, honestly. Absolute cunt. Lovejoy's a straight bum. Probably is, mate. He probably is. Callum's the UK version of Andrade. Well, yeah, kind of, but Andrade's actually fighting, even though he's fighting absolute shit. Callum Smith's not even fighting shit. He's not fighting at all. You know what I mean? Lovejoy's just built his profile and got a free first-class trip to London and a decent hotel. He run Don and said, "Phone Eddie now." Yeah, that's all it is. He's conned himself a free holiday. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Yeah, I doubt he's getting paid 50 to 75 grand, Levi Khan. I would say about 10 to 15 at max. Something like that. 10 to 15,000 pounds. What's that, $20,000 if it's 15k? That's what I would think anyway. Yeah, Cash Farouk. Yeah, he's on that card as well, but he's fighting a journeyman. Cash Farouk, though, is a very good prospect in my opinion. He's a good fighter. The 90s, I think Smith only beat Groves because Groves was badly injured. I'd even pick Eubank Jr. to beat Smith. Callum Smith was exposed by Ryder. Yeah, a lot of his flaws were exposed against John Ryder, but I still think Smith would probably beat. He would probably beat Eubank Jr. Be a hard fight though, because if Eubank gets on the inside, I think he would give Callum Smith problems with the work rate and whatnot. But I'd still favour Callum to beat fucking Chris Eubank Jr. Honestly, you know what I mean. What is drug testing like for Lovejoy? I mean, he's been here, what, 2 or 3 days, whatever it is. This fight got announced at a week's notice. Probably minimal, if any, basically. Exactly, Crazy D3. You said it. See, I'm glad you guys can say shit and I can just highlight it and get away with it. That's how it is. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Yeah, smash the like, lads. Be much appreciated. Much appreciated. How broke is Don King? That even worth? Sorry, how broke is Don King? What's that even worth to him? A few grand? Yeah, but it's not about the money with Don King. It's about power. I would say in my opinion, the guy's a psychopath. I don't think it's about the money. It's about his say so. He's on a power trip, basically. That's my theory anyway. Don King he's a smart individual. He's certainly not broke, in my opinion. He's just being Don King, basically. That's what it is, just being Don King. But there we go. He wants to feel important, basically. Exactly. Yeah, bump of K. Yeah, Don King stomped somebody to death over a few quid. Hardly going to let Hearn pull a fast one. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Boz, he says, barring Groves, Smith's best win was Rocky from Stocky. You could argue that. Me personally, in regards to pure quality, I actually felt Eric Skoglund was his second best win. Skoglund was a good European level fighter / fringe world level, I would say. That was a good win, I would say. Yeah, Smith's not unified. Smith has the WBA and the WBC Diamond. So, yeah, he's not unified. He's not unified. Unrivaled is correct. It's not about the cash, BG, man. It's about Don King's ego and his yeah, that's what it's about, really, in my opinion. That's what it's about. Psychopath, man, absolute psychopath. I think I scored the first fight 8-4 for Ryder, Will Stokes. It was like a 7-5, 8-4 clear type fight, in my opinion, for Ryder. There's no way you could see Callum Smith winning 7 rounds in that fight. I just don't see it. I don't see it. You know? Yeah, Bill Billy. I'm looking forward to seeing this myth of a man, Lovejoy. Fuck it, I'm putting money on him. At your own peril, man. At your own peril. I wouldn't put any money on this guy at all. I want to see the knockout odds for Dave Allen to win by knockout. That's what I'm waiting for, but the bookies are not releasing it. So do they know something? Probably, mate. Probably, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Del, have you seen Jawbone? Good movie. Never heard of it. Never heard of it, bro. Never heard of it. I'll look it up though on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google. Sorry, fucking YouTube. What am I talking about? Callum Smith versus Billy Joe Saunders. Who have you got if it happens next year? Well, first and foremost, both guys haven't really looked great recently. When you look at their recent performances, but I would say Callum Smith wins that fight based on size, based on power. Billy Joe, to me, looks a tad slower at 168. His feet certainly look slower, and his gas tank looks worse at 168. So I think Billy could be winning the fight, and then eventually Callum Smith catches up to him and basically knocks him out, something like that, or drops him a couple of times and wins on points. I see Smith. I see Smith's size being a bit too much. To me, Billy Joe doesn't look right at 168. He looks a bit pudgy. I think the guy's a middleweight still, basically. He's a middleweight. That's what Billy Joe is. He's not a super middle. He's not. He's not a super middle. The best chance Billy has at 168 to beat another champion is Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant's a boxer, doesn't really put it on you physically. So maybe Billy could box with Caleb and get a win. I could see that. But someone like Benavidez, nope. Callum Smith, probably too big, in my opinion. Just how I see it, man. Just how I see it. I'd like to see it, though. I'd like to see it. At the end of the day, these are the sort of fights we need in British boxing. Unification fights between two British fighters, both unbeaten. Be a big fight. And I would pay for it. I would pay for that fight. Regardless of undercard, I'd pay for it. You know? But it's too much to ask for to get fights like that, I guess. It's too much to ask for, apparently. Boz, Smith is the only Liverpool fighter left. He will always get robbery wins. Yeah, that's a good point. The Liverpool scene right now is kind of, you know, it's not really. They've got a few fighters like Callum, Liam. You know, there's a couple of fighters there, but nobody really new coming through. So you might be right, Boz. You might be right. They need that Liverpool market, to be honest. But Adam Scott, Billy Joe should make 154. I think there was a time when Billy Joe could have made 154, Adam Scott. I think now, these days, is probably too much. But a few years ago, I totally agree, Adam. I totally agree. He's always been one of those guys, though, who's not really, again, lived the life, taken it seriously. He's always had lapses in concentration, just not a professional, you know? There we go. Will Stokes, I really hope the fight comes off. Love Dave Allen, and believe it or not, a Lovejoy win would do a lot for his career, get him ranked by the WBA. And Hearn said they'll be looking at making a Bryan fight for him. Yeah, someone like Bryan, Manuel Char, those fights would be available for Dave Allen if he won that fight. I don't think he'd beat those guys personally, but stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened, right? The bias is off the charts. I love it, mate. I love it. It's hilarious. Plant would beat Saunders. Plant is underrated. I don't know, man. I'm still not sold with Caleb Plant. There's something about him. There's something about him. I think David Benavidez would beat him. I really do. I think he'd drown him late on. I could see Caleb Plant outboxing Benavidez early on, but I think Benavidez's size, his output, his combinations, his power, I think that would get to Caleb Plant in the end. I'm not sold on Caleb Plant. I'm really not. I think he's good. He's good. He's good. He's a good boxer, but not. I'm not as sold as a lot of people are, to be honest. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okie dokie. I nearly clicked off his stream, you know. That'd be fucking disastrous, wouldn't it? Be absolutely disastrous. Okie dokie. Yo, Adam Moore, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Keeping well, mate. Keeping well. If Plant versus Benavidez happened, the winner would be the best at 168. I agree. 168 is a weird division, man. It's kind of a wasteland right now. The top four, if those guys fought, we're going to get some good fights, but none of these guys are going to fight each other anytime soon. 168 is like a fucking wasteland at the minute. But Bektemir Melikuziev is fighting on Friday night this week, so keep an eye out for Bektemir Melikuziev, best prospect at 168. And shout out to Unrivaled. I know he's Unrivaled is the chairman of the Bektemir Melikuziev fan club, no doubt about it. But yeah, Melikuziev fights on Friday in Mexico. Good, very good talent. Very good talent. Yes, if Alan beats Lovejoy and beats Bryan, he could actually be ordered to fight AJ as interim. Can you imagine such a world? Can you imagine such a world? I'd be fuming. I'd be absolutely fuming. Can you? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Like Anthony Joshua versus Dave Allen would actually genuinely be like that Simpsons episode when Homer fights Drederick Tatum. That's what it'll be like. That'd be horrible to watch. That'd be jokes. Anthony Yard needs to link with an American trainer if he wants to progress. I think that's a good shout, Boz. I think that's a good shout, especially considering his style of fighting. I think that could work. Someone like Mustafa Muhammad in the Mayweather gym, Eddie Mustafa, I think that'd be a great move for Anthony Yard. Someone like that. Even someone like Lou Duval in America, I think that'd be a great move for Anthony Yard. But yeah, I don't rate Tunde as a trainer. I think Tunde would be a great manager, but a trainer, I'm not convinced at all. I think Anthony Yard has a level of natural talent that's not really being built upon right now. But yeah, I think Anthony's a good talent, and you're right. I think he needs to move trainer. I do. Imagine if Dave Allen gets a title shot before Dillian. I think Dillian would end up in jail. That'd be hilarious. He'll be fucking fuming. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Yeah, it's good news, Adam Moore. It's very good news. Tank Davis versus Leo, Channel 5, free to air. Great news. Great news. Unrivaled, he'd get what he wanted, a pure beatdown in regards to Dave Allen versus Joshua. That'd be hilarious, mate. It's literally a real life Homer versus Drederick Tatum scenario. But yeah, it's good news, Adam Moore. It's great news. Leo Santa Cruz, Tank Davis, Channel 5. I'll stay up and watch it. It's nice that it's not on some dodgy streaming site. Great news, mate. Great news. One second, I can get a drink. We are back. We are back. We are back. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Alan, interim heavyweight champion of the world, if he beats Bryan, would be unbelievable scenes for the lad. What a story from a kid from Donny. Yeah, it'd be a massive. It'd be crazy if Dave Allen ends up with that title. I actually think Trevor Bryan would be a bit too much. I think Trevor Bryan is half decent. I wouldn't say he's like a top 10 material, but he's okay. He ain't too bad. He can punch a bit as well. Trevor Bryan. He can punch a bit. Yeah, the kettle's just fucking clicked, you know. The kettle has just clicked. I'm going to make a cup of coffee in a second. I'm going to quickly run out and do it. Facts unrivaled. Facts. 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 Read it, guys. Read it. Read it. Facts. Big up to unrivaled. You want your Tunde to have a mental breakdown from Yard leaving, Dell? Yeah, no. Genuinely though, I do think Yard is a good talent, and I'm not convinced by Tunde. Tunde's done well to get him this far, but getting him to the next level, I'm not convinced by Tunde. I'm not convinced. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see Yard in the States getting good sparring, different techniques, and building upon what he's good at. That's what I want to see from Anthony Yard. Because I think there's a good fighter there. Not saying he's going to be a world champion or a great world champion, but there's a better fighter in there, in my opinion. There's a better fighter in there. Yeah, I'd put Canelo number one. Bump of K right now. I put Canelo number one. But you know, it's all subjective, I guess, isn't it? Really, it's all subjective. Yard at the Mayweather gym, yeah. See something like that, yeah, that would work. That would work, in my opinion. Thoughts on K9 Bundridge coming back in a few weeks? I mean, how old's that guy now? 44, 45? I want to say he's getting on, man. I mean, listen, it's his choice, I guess, but I'm not going to be paying any attention to it personally. Just hopefully he stays okay and doesn't get hurt, really. That's all you can really say, I guess. But I know he keeps himself in good nick. And, yeah. Yard will never split with Tunde, I reckon. They seem to be really, really close. I reckon Anthony Yard still becomes a world champion. Actually, I reckon Yard and Joshua Buatsi both win world titles. I mean, both guys have talent, but right now the division is so strong. It's kind of hard to see where they win titles immediately. But you know, boxing changes. It's forever changing. Guys could move up in weight, vacate belts, and a vacant belt becomes available, and you could win a vacant belt. They could win. Yeah, who knows? Potentially they could win a world title, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Fucking hell. Tunde has a long managerial contract. Tunde will be the type of dude to take him to the cleaners in court. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Boz. Wouldn't be surprised. Remember when 175 had Kovalev, Beterbiev, Bivol, and Vodzik were all champions? Yeah, that was like a murderer's row of champions back then. But yeah, even right now, light heavyweight is pretty stacked, pretty good division. I reckon Joe Smith Jr. is going to get that WBO title. Joe Smith Jr. is not an easy fight. He's a big dude for 175. He can crack. He's got a great chin, great gas tank, and he's improving as a fighter, Joe Smith Jr. So if anybody sees Joe Smith Jr. as an easy touch for a world title, you are sorely mistaken. You really are. You really are, man. I wouldn't put Joshua Buatsi or Yard anywhere near Joe Smith Jr. for the foreseeable future. J Dav was surprised in the Kalech fight how hittable Buatsi was. Buatsi to me has always been a guy who's been relatively hittable, kind of like flat-footed. And when he opens up, if you trade with him, he's there to be hit. You know, his chin is kind of just up in the air, open. He squares up when he throws combinations. I think Buatsi's always been hittable, but nobody's really exposed it apart from Ryan Ford to a lesser degree. And Kalech obviously really exposed it. Buatsi's good, but And interestingly, Beasley London asks the question, what's your opinion on Joshua Buatsi? What's in your crystal ball, Dell? I think he's a good talent. He does the basics well, good body puncher, seems to carry some sort of power. But to me, yeah, 175, he looks undersized. He's got a very slim waist. He doesn't look all that big. Like Joe Smith Jr. looks like a tank. Beterbiev looks like a tank. Bevol's not the biggest, but stylistically, I think he's all wrong for Joshua Buatsi. I mean, right now, I would have Buatsi fight fringe level guys, learn his trade, and wait for a while. Right now, I don't really see Buatsi doing anything at world level in the next 12 months, personally. And that defense is definitely a worry for me. It definitely is a worry. He seems to be very open for straight punches. His guard isn't always the tightest. Doesn't really move his head. Stays kind of upright. He's a bit. He's a work in progress, Buatsi. He's a work in progress. But he's a good talent. He's a good talent. Exactly. That's the thing, Will Stokes. That's the thing. Beterbiev is he's like 35, yeah, so he's not going to be around forever, yeah. And that'll free up 2 titles. Exactly, that's the thing. Like, boxing is constantly moving. If 2 titles get vacated, yeah, Buatsi could win a world title, so could Yard. Definitely. Definitely. But even like someone like Maxime Vlasov wouldn't be an easy fight for a Buatsi or a Yard. Like, there's some really good guys at 175 that need to be watched out for. You know? Fury power! Oh, it's jokes. Oh, shit, I've totally lost where I was on the chat now. Fuck's sake. If Cole wins a world title, do you think Sky are going to give him decent airtime? Yeah, I think so. I think he's going to beat Glowacki as well, by the way. I think he's going to manhandle him and win an ugly fight. I think he's going to win that title. Listen, he's not the greatest fighter to watch, but at least Okole fights people. I can say that. He's moved quite quickly, Lawrence Okole. He's fought people. Just his style is horrible. And he should have been disqualified a couple of times. But yeah, he's got some good ambition, Lawrence Okole. He's got good ambition. Oh, another one of these trolls. Oh, this one of these BFTB fake accounts, the pedo guy. Shit. Yeah. Should we block the user? We'll block the user for being associated with a known pedo. Bye. Yeah, the Zone UK. Yeah, £1.99 to start with, but that's going to be increased. £1.99 is just an entry price, I guess. You know, like the first couple of months, then they'll bump it up to £10. I would say that's what that's about. That's what that's about. Okole's going to get chinned at some point. I agree. I don't think Glowacki's the guy to do it, though. I don't think Glowacki's the guy to do it, mate. But I do agree. Eventually, he's going to get chinned. Someone like Briadis would be far too much. But Glowacki at this point, yeah, I would say he beats Glowacki. Just outmans him, basically, outstrengths him. Yeah, that's my thing with Buatsi. Doesn't look the biggest light heavyweight. It makes you wonder, could he make 168, Buatsi? You know? Could he make 168? Maybe, I don't know, to be honest. And yeah, you're right about Yard. Yard is a big 175. He carries a lot of muscle. He does well to make 175. Anthony Yard does very well. Okole's fighting on the Joshua Pulev card, DW23. That's what it's scheduled for anyway. That's what it's scheduled for. It's a good fight. Apparently that card could have Okole versus Glowacki for the vacant WBO, and also John Ryder versus David Lemieux. So that card could be pretty strong, to be honest. That'd be nice. It'd be nice to see a strong pay-per-view card. Oh yeah, Nordic Kingdom, totally agree. Yeah, Yard is too small for cruiserweight. No doubt, no doubt. But he's still like a relatively big light heavyweight in terms of like pure mass, I would say. But you're right, man. You're right. Can the zone justify bumping up the price with boxing only content? In other countries, they have several sports on the zone to justify the price. That's a good point. Yeah, I'd imagine as they go along, they're going to get more sports. Then the price is going to go up, kind of thing. But yeah, it's a work in progress, I would say, DAZN UK. We'll see how it starts out, what they offer, what it's like, and we'll go from there. I'll subscribe for the first month, see what it's like, go from there, basically. Go from there. But I hope it does well. I hope it does well. Cost-effective boxing and things like that. It's always good. It's always good. Yo, salute to Truth Son. Thank you very much, man. You've contributed for the last few streams, man. So thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, mate. Will Stokes, he doesn't think Okole is going to stay at cruiserweight after he wins the WBO. Reckon he'll go straight to heavyweight afterwards. Maybe, because in the cruiserweight division, there's not exactly much money there, to be honest. Win a belt at cruiserweight, then move up to heavyweight, and can't basically use that former world champion angle, former cruiserweight champion angle, and then go from there. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And listen, Okole making cruiserweight is not easy as well. He struggles to make that weight, I would say. I would imagine. Maybe I'm wrong, but I would imagine so. But thank you to Truth Son. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nordic Kingdom, they need a new division between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Too much weight between the two divisions. I'm not a fan of introducing more weight classes, to be honest. I see the argument for it, but I think we should keep it how it is, to be honest. I think we should keep it how it is. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. But if they structure it right, I guess so, maybe. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. AA Boxing and Blunts. By the way, big up to AA. Nordic, he says, I think they should actually ditch some smaller weights and sort of a jump from 175 to heavyweight. That's a good shout, AA. That's a good shout. Paul Christmas, I love. I don't take anything out of boxing, so I don't put anything into boxing. Only my time, and that's because I love the sport. Been with Dennis for 63 months next month. For fuck's sake, mate. Paul Christmas, loving it, mate, loving it. Christ. Funny as fuck. Good question here. Okay, so honest question, lad. What happened to the British boxing scouting? It has become all about buying Olympians and Team GB fighters. Where has the good old-fashioned scouting gone? Yeah, exactly. Like right now, man, that's totally out of a window due to obviously the small hall promoters not having any shows, and that is going to be severely detrimental to British boxing, because there's going to be a lot of kids who just quit boxing because they can't get any dates, they can't get any shows. And a lot of these guys, man, are going to quit boxing, do something different. And that's going to be detrimental because there's a lot of fighters in the UK who have come up from small hall scene. Josh Warrington, Lee Selby, guys like that, Martin Murray. All of these guys were small hall fighters, and that's where they came from. So we could be missing out on a lot of these sort of fighters in the future due to COVID, basically. But right, in regards to the scouting, I mean, we've gone into this age now where you've got to have like a gimmick, you've got to have an angle, and if you don't sell tickets, you're not going to get a show. You're not going to get a chance unless you're brought in as the opponent and you make it work for yourself. If you're one of those fighters on the small hall scene, basically you need to hope that you get brought in as an opponent, and you need to upset the favourite. That's what you need to do to make a name for yourself in that position right now. Like Ryan Charlton against Joe Laws, for example. That's what you got to do if you want to make a name for yourself. Fuck scouting. You got to get lucky and then take your chance right now. That's how it is, in my opinion. But it's a very good question. It's a very good question. You know, and yeah, I do think what's gone on with COVID and like small hall shows not being on, it's going to affect boxing drastically in the UK. I really do. I think it's going to be detrimental to the UK. Not only small hall boxing, but like amateur boxing as well. These amateur kids are not fighting. You know, like the amateurs like coming up who are not as well known. These guys aren't fighting, and a lot of these guys are going to pack in the sport. There's going to be a lot of talent leaving the sport due to COVID, and they ain't going to come back. They ain't going to come back. So yeah, it's going to be detrimental. It's going to be detrimental, in my opinion. Sad. It's sad. Adam Moore, Del Boy, the boxing gym I go to was opened by Frank Warren's son. Interesting. I never knew his son even opened a gym, to be honest with you, Adam Moore. Yeah, Patrick McCormack, very good prospect. Well, good amateur, sorry. Good amateur, I should say. When he turns pro, I think he'll be decent. He'll be decent. Yeah, Sammy Emamune, Boz. That was for the Commonwealth title, I believe, Boz. Yeah, yeah. I remember that fight as well. Was it a late stoppage? I forget, but I remember the fight, kinda. That was on Sky. But yeah, you're right. Then he fought like Martin Lindsay and people like that. Yeah. See, Josh Warrington, he came through the scene, man. He went through Small Hall, got on Sky, won the British, won the Commonwealth, the European. He won at Fringe World level. He stepped through all the levels, man, from English to world. That's how it's supposed to be done, man. For a lot of fighters, at least. But a lot of fighters in the UK, they skip out on that. You know, they skip out on it. Look at how Billy Joe was managed and matched. He was an area champion. He was English champion, I believe. Commonwealth, British, European, world. Step through the levels. And a lot of promoters in the UK are kind of turning their back on that sort of traditional way of building a fighter. And sometimes you can see it when a fighter comes unstuck. Sometimes you can see a lot of these guys have missed out on the in-between fights. They'll jump from low level to high level and they'll get fucked up, to be honest. They'll get smashed up. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy shit. It's crazy shit. But there's no right and wrong way to match a prospect, I guess. It's always different for different fighters. But I do see a trend of a lot of fighters in the UK not getting the certain fights they need and getting rushed and whatnot. But there we go. Shit, I think I'm lost where I am. I think I lost where I am. Some of these comments are great, by the way. Some of these quote comments are fucking great. Oh, Christ. Yeah, big up to Vishnu Patel. Big up to you, sir. Ah, Christ. Boz, Frank didn't just have the funds for Billy Joe when he was at Box Nation to get a big fight on the elite level. Yeah. And quite frankly, I don't think Frank Warren was all that disappointed when Billy Joe left him. I think Frank realised that Billy Joe was too hard to manage. It was a headache that he didn't need, to be honest. You know, I don't think Frank was all that disappointed. I see a comment there. That's fucking hilarious. BG London, £1.99. Eddie better watch his back. Adam Smith's got chloroform and a handkerchief on deck. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he has, man. Yo, Adam Smith is like, he's staying up all hours of the night, just plotting right now, getting his dungeon ready, getting it soundproofed, like ready for fucking, for things to turn bad. That's what he's waiting for. He's plotting right now. Somebody needs to get to him before it's too late. she can come again. Jade Khan, that's fucking hilarious. Steve Bunce. Those who know. That's hilarious. Eddie Hearn will walk away from boxing after AJ retires. He could do Bump of K. He could do something else. He could do. Relentless, the new book. Get it now. Relentless. How to get through adversity. Even though I've never had any adversity, from Eddie Hearn. Get the fuck out of here, man. Christ. Like David Hay said, man. Apples and pears, apple and pears. Everything's a fucking sales pitch. Get out of here, man. He's good at what he does, man. But yeah, fuck all that nonsense. Dave Allen's got a lot of houses in Doncaster, so now good on him. He deserves it. The kid's mum likes him, and the kid's mum likes him. Yeah, Dave's done well for himself. Listen, I'd like to hate on him, but he's done well for himself. He's done well for himself. That's a good shout on Rivaled. A book review for Eddie Hearn's Relentless, yeah, but I wouldn't fucking pay for it, mate. Honestly. Eddie, yes, yeah, Coppin 09, yeah, Eddie's gonna walk, but Matchroom won't. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Yeah, Time Booth was high as a kite, A. O'Neill, in that video. Yeah, it was a great video. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, mate. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Eddie, sorry, Tesco Joe, yeah, he bottled it. AZ, he bottled it and he apologised. Look out for Javier Martinez. I will do. I will do. Yes, exactly. Truth, son. Too much acceleration leads to lesser and lesser legit builders and in between fights, as you say, mate. Top heaviness built on unstable foundations. Yeah, exactly. Truth, son. You could argue that happened with Deontay Wilder, in a sense. I mean, what did Wilder really learn in his first 30 fights? Did he really learn much? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. In reality, Wilder really should have fought guys like Chisora, Bryant Jennings before he was a champion, to build him up, to get him experience against tough dudes who hit back, maybe give him problems. Because in the Fury fight, when things were going wrong, Wilder looked like a deer in the headlights. He looked like Bambi at times. His eyes were so fucking wide open. He looked wired. He looked panicky. And he had no clue how to deal with it. And maybe that was partly due to the matchmaking at the start of his career, you know? So, yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Adam Moore, Del Boy, do you reckon David Hay was on steroids during his career? Looks really slim now. Yeah, he does. He does. David Hay's lost a lot of weight. As a kid, David Hay was my favourite fighter. So I'm a bit of a David Hay fanboy. But yeah, I would say he was on some sort of PEDs in his prime, no doubt. Most of these fighters are, in my opinion. Most of these fighters are. Yeah, Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, very good fighter. Very good, very good amateur. Quick dude, skilled. Yeah, he's a good amateur. Dennis McCann is the best British prospect. I would agree, Big Dan. He's certainly top 3. I think he's very good. He's got that swagger about him. Fights a bit like Prince Nazim. Got power. Just a fun fighter to watch. Gypsy boy. Yeah, he's a good fighter. Dennis McCann. He's a good fighter. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Yeah, the McCormack bros look pretty good, man. Yeah, they do. I want to see Fraser Clark turn pro as well, the heavyweight from the UK. I want to see him turn pro. See, I'm surprised he didn't turn pro after the Olympics got pushed back. But these GB guys get paid a good wage. So, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, David Hay he's a proper salesman, Big Boys Boxing. He is a proper salesman. And yeah, it does get a little annoying at times, but I like David Hay. I think he's a decent dude, to be honest. I've met him once and he was okay. And yeah, he was a great fighter to watch. I used to love watching David Hay fight as a kid when I was younger. David Hay was the guy who really got me into the gym, basically, watching him fight. He kind of inspired me. So I'm always going to have a soft spot for David Hay. He was one of my favourite fighters growing up. So, yeah, I like David Hay. I like David Hay. But yeah, the salesman shit does get a bit much. But Frank should bring out a book called Fish Eyes. It'd blow Eddie's out of a window. Yeah, I actually think a Frank Warren book would be very interesting. Going into his life, how he began his career, upbringing, how he got shot, all this stuff, man. It'd be fucking great. How Tyson punched him up. Like, Frank Warren's book would be very good. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. It'd be very good. He's got a lot of stories. Be very good. Big Dan, I'll tell you this now. Dennis McCann's going to be a unified world champion in a few years. He looks good, man. He looks good. He looks good, bro. He looks good. I want to see him fill in Prince Patel. That'd be fucking funny. Get him in there with Prince Patel. Yeah, intangible. There's something wrong with me. Usually, I'll stop streaming after like hour and a half max is my maximum sort of stream time. But I've got tomorrow off, man, and I'm kind of bored. So yeah, I was a bit wound up before I started this stream, just with how the world's going, and all that shit. You know how uncertain life is right now, and yeah, I was just a bit wound up, just a bit fucked off. So I thought I'd live stream, kill the boredom, and improve my mood, and it certainly has. You guys always kind of are good to talk to, so yeah, been a bit of a therapy session for me as well, to be honest. But there we go. Oh, Prince Patel lost the other day. I thought he drew. Did he lose? He didn't lose, did he? Oh, bless him. Prince Patel. Did he lose? Let's have a look. He couldn't have lost. Was it against Innocent Everest, Cop End 09? The result is not on BoxRec yet. Let's have a look on Twitter. Prince Patel. Because he beat this guy previously, this innocent guy. Not so innocent. Christ. Prince Patel. Oh, bless him. Prince Patel lost. Christ. There we go. Yeah, that's what I heard unrivaled. I thought they ruled it a draw as well. Bruv. I'll look on Twitter quickly. I can't see anything on Twitter, you know. I can't see anything on Twitter, really. Can we see anything on Twitter? Oh, fucking hell, I can't find anything, mate. I can't find anything. So there we go. Originally, they gave it to Innocent and then re-ruled it a draw. Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I think I might have heard that from you, actually, Unrivaled. But yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. Regardless, he's garbage, Prince Patel. He is trash. But he'd be a good fight for Dennis McCann. I mean, Prince Patel's got a name of some description. But there we go. Okie dokie. He got his head caved in, apparently, by Big Coogan with his debt. He got caved in by the Det KO advert. Are you having sleepless nights? No, was it? Yeah, are you having sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Det KO. And what is it? And your debt's not going to be the only thing keeping you up at night. What a fucking mug. Honestly. Oh, shit. Shit. I might try and get a sponsorship with Det KO. Shall we try and get a sponsorship with Det KO? Shall we? For banter? Let's Google this Det KO shit. 1 second. Det KO. I want to be like Coogan Cassius and get a Det KO sponsorship. You know? That's what I want. I'm looking at the website, you know, it's IVAs and shit like that. No, I wouldn't. Listen, if these guys could, I'm being serious, yeah, these guys could pay me, I wouldn't fucking accept their sponsorship. I looked at their website. This is cancer. Shame on Coogan for fucking even selling this shit. Like, genuinely. Fuck that noise. That's cancer. No, fuck that. I ain't gonna fucking... I was gonna email them, you know. But, oh, well, it is what it is. Yeah, but I've... Del, do you think Hay is one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time or nah? He's in the conversation when it comes to head-to-head fights, but I mean, he's not on a Holyfield's level. He's not on a U6 level. Carlos de Leon, you wouldn't put him on that level either. He's in the top 10, I would say, but I guess he's in the conversation. One of my favourite cruiserweights, no doubt. But yeah, I wouldn't say top 3 or anything like that. Dell sent you a very important link on Twitter, on Discord. What you on about, bruv? What you on about, cuz? IFL TV is toxic. I agree. Must be on Discord. IFL went completely downhill when Fury went missing late 2016, and it's never recovered. Yeah, IFL haven't been great for a long time, to be honest. The standard of interviewers are terrible. Like Coogan is, listen, he is what he is. I don't really rate Umar as an interviewer. The Scottish guy's okay, but even he gets a little bit annoying at times, that Andrew McCart. Yeah, I'm not a fan of him, to be honest. I'm not a fan of him. Yeah. Is your debt giving you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO, and your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all of your debt. Yeah. Christ. But yeah, I wouldn't take a sponsorship with someone like them, to be honest. I've been offered one sponsorship since I've been doing this channel, and I didn't fucking do it because I didn't like what they was offering, to be honest. The product itself wasn't really fitted to my channel, wasn't suited to my channel, sorry. So I thought, fuck it, I am not going to do that. I wouldn't mind doing it, yeah. I wouldn't mind doing a sponsorship with something that I actually would genuinely use and like. It's the only time I would really offer, like do a sponsorship thing. And ideally boxing related or something similar. I'll have a look, Unrivaled. 1 second, mate. Fucking hell, I've got a dodgy throat. Oh, you found it? You found it. Is that the first fight or second fight, though, Unrivaled? Is that the first or second fight? Because they fought twice now. They're on course for this big trilogy in fucking Egypt. It's crazy shit. Coogan must own that Debt KO company. Surely no legit company would use that advert. Yeah, he might do, He might have stakes in it or something like that. Yeah. Nonsense. It depends, Will Stokes. With certain fighters, it can be somewhat entertaining. But on the other hand, I do sometimes, I would like to hear like a professional interview kind of thing. And I don't think IFL really are great at that side of things. They're great at like the banter stuff and, being friendly with the fighters. And that can make for good interviews, but I mean, Jesus Christ, my throat is doing me in. Christ. But yeah, for me, like, I'm not a big fan of IFL for the most part. Not a big fan. I've had different fights. Okay, cool. I'll give it a watch then, Unrivaled. I'll give it a watch. Movie recommendation, Calibre on Netflix. Bloody brilliant movie. It's a Scottish drama. Trust me, watch it, bro. I'll give it a watch, BG London. Doesn't have to be just boxing talk, mate. Doesn't have to be just boxing talk. I need to watch some more movies, mate. I've not been sitting down and watching movies for a long, long time. I forgot the last movie I watched, to be honest. I totally forgot. Totally forgot. Bektemir Melikuziev is the best prospect in the world, fighting tomorrow against Alan Camper. Melikuziev is definitely the best 168 prospect at super middleweight, definitely. Good, very good fighter. Old Boy, yeah, that's a good film. Speaking of like Asian horror movies, I Saw the Devil. That is a fucking brilliant film. Excellent, excellent film. Graphic as fuck. It's not graphic as fuck. It is graphic, but I've seen worse. But it's a good film. It's a really, really good film. I Saw the Devil. If you don't mind subtitles, give it a watch. Really, really good film. Really good film. I enjoyed that. I enjoy that sort of movie anyway. Those sort of horror movies and shit like that. I enjoy that. Fucking hell. Yeah, that was a good interview. That was a good interview. The IFL interview with Tyson Fury 3 days before the Vladimir fight. That was very good. Yeah, See, that was a good interview. Yeah, 100%. And to be fair to them, most of their Tyson Fury interviews are good. Actually, I'll give them credit on in that front. Their Tyson Fury interviews are pretty good. When it's a sit down interview, I quite enjoy them. I quite enjoy them. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would take Bektemir Melikuziev over Belanga and David Morrell. I do like both of those guys, by the way. I think David Morrell, good prospect, nice boxing skills. I like his style. Edgar Belanga, to me, yeah, he's got power. He's a strong kid, but to me, his potential is purely raw potential. I've seen this guy hurt. People forget, like he's been hurt in his pro career already. Edgar Belanga, I think it was like his fifth fight, maybe or sixth fight. He's been hurt. He's open for a right hand. I saw that against Lionel Bellows, but Bellows couldn't really capitalize on it. We need to see Belanga tested, man. Let's hold on with Belanga a little bit. Let's hold on. Because apart from power, size, and raw strength, what have we really seen from this guy? Honestly. Do you know what I mean? What have we really seen from him? I don't know. Yo, I like that fight though, Big Dan. Morrell Jr. versus Melikuziev. Very good fight. I like it. Yo, no, I wouldn't say IFL liking IFL makes you a casual. You like what you like, man. I don't hate all of their stuff to be honest, but for the most part, it's just not for me. Fucking hell, it made me jump. I prefer Boxing Social out of the two. Blue Collar Sports TV out of Bomac, Rob McCracken, Mark Ramsey. Which would you want to have as your trainer if you would have went pro? Given my style of fighting. That's a very good question, you know. That's a very good one. I actually rate Bomac very highly, and I rate Mark Ramsey very highly. I rate Rob McCracken as well. That's a good one. That's a very interesting one. Maybe, do you know what? Weirdly, maybe Mark Ramsey. Because he kind of works with a lot of punchers. And that's kind of my style. I've only got it in my right hand, my straight right, but I guess he could build on that. Maybe Mark Ramsey. Maybe Mark Ramsey. I like Mark Ramsey. Will's not a regular when it comes to the streams. But salute to Will, man. Salute to Will. Bro, it's so fucking windy outside, mate. Honestly, it's crazy. Unrivaled, he started to hate Boxing Social. I mean, listen, bruh. Most of the interviewing channels, they need to conduct themselves a certain way to obviously get their credentials. So you're never going to get anyone who's cutting edge or close to the bone. But I think Boxing Social is one of the better ones, to be honest. My personal opinion. Yo, MMA champ the GOAT. I'd be shocked if we get either. No way, Jose. If Callum Smith fights this year, it's going to be someone like Zach Parker, I would say. St. Brit Sports, my boxing style is a torrential downpour. Mine's like 5 right hands around, looking for one big shot, basically, and a lazy jab. That's my style. I'm like a white Deontay Wilder without half the power. I can hit pretty hard with my straight right, though. I can hit pretty hard. But yeah, I got noodle legs like Deontay Wilder. No, Will Stokes, I know, mate. I know, bro. I know. But yeah, I'm just giving you my opinion, my 2 cents on the matter. You like what you like, man. You like what you like. I don't mind their podcast Unrivaled, actually, Boxing Social. I was listening to it today with Barry Jones. That weren't too bad. That weren't too bad. It's like Povetkin. He's in his 42nd year. I do like that. I do like that. Yeah, Jay Bilo, I agree. As I've gotten older, I pay less and less attention to pre-fight build-up when it comes to interviews and things like that. I pay less and less attention unless it's like a really, really, really big fight, like Fury Wilder or Joshua Klitschko. I don't really pay attention to pre-fight stuff, to be honest. Not really. I've gone right out of that. Or unless like it's a real big rivalry where both guys are talking shit and it's genuine, I'll watch it then. But I don't really pay attention to pre-fight build-up now, like interviews and shit. Don't really pay attention. Not my thing anymore. What weight you fight at, bro? So right now, if I went on a scale and fucking fought, I'd be at middleweight basically, I would imagine. But if I boiled down, I could make welterweight. So I'm 6'1" though, so I'm a fucking lanky bastard. I'm a lanky bastard. I'm like tall and lean, I guess. Tall and lean. Just I've kind of not been training recently, so I need a 6-week training camp to get back into shape. 6-week training camp. Fuck's sake. Helping you KO your debt, mate. Oh shit. Yo, that's jokes, man. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh mate. Fucking hell. That made me laugh, mate. Thank you very much, Truth Sons. And you made it funny as well. Yeah, big up to the Truth Sons, man. Thank you for the contributions. Much appreciated, mate. Oh shit. Yeah, but the next step though, according to the Debt KO advert, you run up your credit card bills, you get in debt, you call up Debt KO. Once you call up Debt KO, you get fucking laid by a hottie. So yeah, I'm hoping it all works out. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, St. Britt, I'm 6'1", bruv. I'm a middleweight. Yeah, I'm a middleweight, mate. I could make a lighter weight as well if I was actually training. So when I was supposed to fight amateur, bear in mind I was like 18, 19 at the time. I was supposed to make welterweight. So what's welterweight in the amateurs? Is it 145, I believe? Or was it 147? I forget. But yeah, I was supposed to fight welterweight in the amateurs. Fight never happened, fell through. The guy pulled out, and I never fucking trained after that for a while. And basically, since then, I fucking never really trained properly after that. So never happened. But I was supposed to fight at welterweight at the time, and I was 18, 19. I think I just turned 19. I just turned 19 because it's 2014 spring. So yeah, I just turned 19, and I could make 145 at 6'1" or 147, whatever it is. Oh, 152? Oh yeah, I could make welterweight now then in the amateurs. Easily. Big Dan, he'd be a strawweight in it. Fighter name Hightower. I don't know what I'd call myself, I wouldn't have a fucking clue. PV London, he's 6'2" in Air Force One. So am I, bruv. So am I. That's a big fucking light heavyweight, Will Stokes. 18-year-old, 6'4" light heavyweight amateur, looking to move up to 90 kilograms now. That's a big fucking light heavyweight. Like if he was a pro, like maybe you could make 168 cuts. That'd be crazy. 6'4" light 168 fighter. But yeah, that's a big light heavyweight. Yo, Bump of K, do you know what would be hilarious? Like, I know UCTV's talked about it, Mark's talked about it, like a big YouTube boxing, like fucking tournament. That'd be hilarious. Like all the uploaders fight each other. That'd be jokes. That'd be so funny. St. Britt, he's a heavyweight, but he could squeeze down to cruiserweight. Like Arthur Spilker. Like Spilker's moved down to cruiserweight. St. Britt is the British Arthur Spilker. Hopefully your chin's better, though, bro. Hopefully your chin's better, mate. Big Dan 6'9" when he stands on the 5-foot table. No, but fair play, Will Stokes. I wish. I'll tell you what, Will. I think I was talking to Unrivaled the other day on the phone, and I was saying about my biggest regret probably is not actually pursuing boxing, because like I said, I was supposed to fight amateur, but the guy pulled out. I kind of lost heart and I stopped training. And ever since then, I was just always stopped starting the gym, never really took it seriously. I wish I did. But, after a while, life gets in the way. You get, jobs become more, your career or your work life becomes more complicated. Life in general becomes more complicated. And before you know it, things get in the way. And yeah, man, I definitely regret not actually giving boxing a real go. I wouldn't have done anything realistically, but you never know, do you? You never know. And I wish I really gave it a go. So yeah, just give it a go, Will, and stick with it, mate. No regrets, mate. No regrets. No regrets. Dell, it is what it is, boy. I do say that a lot. I say it is what it is a lot. What else do I say a lot? Fuck. What else do I say a lot? What is it? As far as I'm concerned, I say that a lot as well. As far as I'm concerned, I say that a lot. AZ, when I get in a sauna like Barry and Lee Purdy, I'll go from super middleweight down to lightweight. Delboy, what is your day job, may I ask? So I work in finance for a company within the motor trade right now. I work in finance, basically. Kind of just number crunching, I guess you would say. Number crunching. Yeah, bump of Cavo, with your careers, you're still young. You can still turn it around, mate. I wouldn't worry too much now, mate. I wouldn't worry too much. You can turn it around. Just you have to brainstorm. Like I've been like with COVID and whatnot, with the world being kind of fucked. I've been really kind of looking at ways of trying to improve myself and not only rely on my main source of income, come up with other sources of income like stocks and shares, cryptocurrency, and other things, other sort of things. And yeah, I've made a little bit, but not what I wanted to. But I've made something. I'm well in profit, so that's gone well. And yeah, I've been trying to use this time to just get a little bit better and learn some new skills and diversify my income and just improve as a person in general. So yeah, recently I've been failing. I can't lie, but yeah, it is what it is, man. Exactly, the 90s. Yeah, you can still turn it around at any age. 22 is young, very young. Exactly, bro. Exactly. It's very young. A O'Neill, ever thought of starting a podcast? Yeah, I have. I've thought about it, A O'Neill, but I'll be honest with you. If I started a podcast, I don't think I'd want to start a boxing podcast. To be honest, I don't think I'd want to. I'd appear on a boxing podcast now and again, but would I want to start one? Nah, I wouldn't really. I wouldn't really, mate. I'd rather just start a podcast. If I started a podcast, it'll just be, I don't know what it'd be based on, or what sort of topic I would kind of go for. Maybe just current events and just talk shit on it. Like I don't know what I would do, but yeah, I thought about it, but not seriously, I guess. Not seriously. Wait, so Delboy works for Det KO hiring hookers for the clients. No. But yeah, you're right though, the 90s. That's important to say. 22 is very young. And you can always turn it around. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Exactly. 27. My job is not. I pay the bills. I don't exactly live a life of luxury, But I get by. I save a little bit per month, build something up in case something goes wrong, or hopefully invest it. That's my plan right now. We got to get by, and it's definitely tricky right now with the job market. People are losing their jobs. So whatever you do have, man, I guess we've got to be grateful, because a lot of people are out of work right now, really, really struggling to get by. So yeah, man, it's mad. It's mad. Hey O'Neill, I'm 38 and only just started studying last year, studying law. That's good, man. That's good. See, I've with education, I was never really interested in anything. I left school with my GCSEs. I think I left with like 10 GCSEs maybe. Went to college, studied plumbing. I'm qualified to be a plumber on water only, but I didn't like that. Then I went into car sales. Didn't like that. Car sales was really good money though, but shit turned sour. And now I'm in finance. So my fucking path hasn't been thought out at all. I'm just kind of gone where I've had to, really. You know, gone where I've had to. AZ, I'm looking for a new job in business, waiting for a call from a slag tomorrow. Yeah, man, that's always the worst part in it. When you're interviewing for new jobs, going to interviews, that's always kind of daunting. But I've always done quite well in interviews because I don't know why. Because I've always thought I've been terrible at that sort of thing. Like off the cuff speaking, I'm pretty bad at. You guys can probably hear that in the streams. I'm pretty bad at it, to be honest. But I somehow get through them. Delboy, you should start interviewing boxers. I've never really gave it a thought, to be honest, to interview boxers. Never been really something I've wanted to do, unless the relationship was like natural. Let's say a fighter watched my channel and he said, "I'll jump on." Fair enough, I'll do it. But apart from that, I don't think I would want to seek out fighters for interviews. It's just not my style, to be honest. But yeah, I've had a couple of trainers follow the channel. Believe it or not, Kamil Sakalowski's trainer follows my channel. Or I don't know whether he still trains him, but he does and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, maybe in the future. You never say never, but it's something I'm not planning for, to be honest. Fuck's sake, I'm 50 next year, 10 years behind the door, 11-year heroin addict, but I'm my own man, aren't I? Oh Christ. Faust, big up to Faust, big up to Blue Collar Sports TV. Thank you very much. Do you listen or watch to Ken and Vince from the Boxing Rant on YouTube? Those guys are hilarious. I've heard of a channel, but I've never watched them. I might give them a watch because of your recommendation. I'm always looking for new podcasts and whatnot, so I'll give them a watch. Do it, Big Dan. Do it. Everything like that needs to be aired out. Do it. I'll watch it. Mate. Ian Ward, worked in farming for 26 years for myself, had 2 discs in my back repaired, and now been stacking shelves for 8 months. Yo, man, it's right now. It's one of those situations where we've just got to get by and whatnot. Like I'll be honest with you. Once I moved from car sales into this current role, I kind of realised straight away that I didn't like it. I moved into finance last November, and I realised quite quickly I don't like this job. But obviously, with what's going on and how the world is, I'm kind of stuck right now. So, yeah, I'm kind of playing the waiting game. Once things go back to normal, I'm going to look for something else. But yeah, it's just one of those things right now, isn't it? Do what you got to do to get by. But I know a lot of people like that. So some of my friends have lost their jobs. And they're doing things in the meantime that, they wouldn't really normally do. So it's a mad time right now. It really is. Mad times. To be honest, St. Britt, not really. I mean, even if Tank can't knock him out, I expect Leo to be negative. I expect Leo to have felt the power and go into a shell. Basically, Tank wins by picking up the rounds. I don't really see Leo being active enough. I think Tank's going to take that away from him with the power, So not really St. Britt. Unless Tank is really off, I don't see it happening. I think Tank's going to win this fight relatively comfortably, to be honest. Yeah, Unrivaled, yeah. It's Channel 5. Very good news, in my opinion. Very good news. Free to air. Beautiful stuff, mate. Beautiful stuff. You got to love it. AZ, I don't want a desk job, but all of my qualifications are desk job based. Wish I could get in a time machine. Yeah, man. Listen, bruv. Sometimes I feel like that. Like I've turned down certain opportunities in my past And listen, in hindsight, man, I wish I could go back and retake, make a different decision. But you can't dwell on the past. I mean, you can't control that anymore. It is what it is, man. You got to make new chances and take those. Don't make the same mistake twice. That's the real lesson, I guess. And yeah, I mean, we all have those sort of regrets, I think, in some aspects. But you can't let that bog you down. At the end of the day, we've made those mistakes. It's basically up to us then to really not make them again and take our opportunities in the future. I guess one of those things, isn't it? Just got to learn from it, I guess. And I'm the same. I'm the same. AZ going to the chemist to pick up his methadone. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Yeah, that's a sick flex, bruv. What are you talking about, Unrivaled? That's a sick flex. You gotta love it, mate. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yo, Paul Christmas, man. These quotes are killing me, mate. They're killing me. Yeah, BG London. I think so. If I'm not going out, I'll stay up and watch it. I'll stay up and watch it. I'll give it a watch. Why not? Might have a couple of hours kip, but I'll give it a watch. He's telling Saint Brit's telling Jim to make a Belfast brew, 2 shots of whiskey, 2 shots of vodka, and a tea bag. Oh, that sounds grim. Yes, we've got Carlton Palmer in the building. What a way to end this stream. The greatest English footballer of all time. Could play with both feet. An amazing shot, tremendous pace, balance of a ballerina. Just a brilliant, brilliant player. And Carlton, yes, and as Mr. Relax says, Carlton Palmer can punch. He carries power. He carries power, no doubt about it. Facts. My man Aaron Dingle's in here looking for a shag. Anybody wants to oblige him? Go ahead. Yo, Apology Man as well dropping by. Big up to Apology Man. Yo, you know who it is, and you know where I am. Big up to Apology Man. Big up, big up. Carlton Palmer levels Dion Dublin. 1 punch, boom, knockout. Trust me. Trust me. Easy work. Exactly, man. Listen, A. O'Neill, I've done stuff I've not been proud of, and it is what it is, mate. I can't go back and change it. I just can't do it again, I guess. It is what it is. That's another thing I want to do eventually is do some story time videos, and just tell some stories from the past, my late teenage years. That's where it all comes down to, really. When I was 18, 19, did a lot of dumb shit just for a bit of extra money, I guess. And yeah, but I think that'll make for some interesting episodes on another channel. But yeah, maybe in the future at some point. You think boxers have ghost accounts on YouTube? Yeah, I do. BG London, I do. I think a lot of fighters watch they watch boxing videos from content creators. I think a lot of fighters are someone like maybe Carl Froch, for example. He strikes me as a guy who looks for negative content on him, basically. Someone like Carl Froch, I reckon, watches. And Dave Allen, probably another one. Yeah, I reckon they do. MMA champ the GOAT, I'll do it in a sense in which doesn't incriminate myself. Basically, I can do that. It's okay. I don't need to incriminate myself to tell some stories, which I'll dress up as whatever. I can get around that. But I definitely think boxers have ghost accounts. I do. Definitely. Did he actually? Unrivaled. That's hilarious. Christopher Lovejoy called me a cunt and blocked me on IG because of my prediction video. That's jokes. That's hilarious, man. Does he have a Twitter or anything? Does he have a Twitter? That's jokes, man. That's hilarious. There's talkers and there are smoky bacon walkers. Facts. His fucking quotes are killing me, honestly. Yes, big up to James Thornton, man. Big up. Oh, he's just got Instagram. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, some boxers are really, really adverse to criticism. You know, even if you pick against them, they'll call it hating. That's what really winds me up. Some fighters are cool about it. Some fighters are like, everyone's got their opinion. I'll move on. Some fighters are like that. But fighters who say, if you're not picking me, you're a hater, that's what really kind of irritates me, to be honest. That really irritates me. I mean, just deal with it, mate. A hater is saying the guy completely sucks, he's garbage, you know, he's a cunt. That's hating, just hating for the sake of hating. Saying somebody loses a fight is not hating, honestly. Lovejoy sounds weak-minded, probably watching this stream right now. He might be. He might be. He might be. Imagine he is. If you're watching Christopher Lovejoy, drop a super chat. Fuck, you know. Don King ain't going to get him paid, so he can't right now. He needs that money to get back home, doesn't he? That's hilarious. I've had phone calls at 4 a.m. shouting "Bean" at me. Oh dear, man. Do you know what? I've enjoyed this one. I really have enjoyed this stream. So salute to you guys, man. Salute to you guys. Apparently, I hate all boxers because I called Dave Allen a bum. Listen, Unrivaled. In a social context, a bum is a lazy person, right? That's what a bum is, essentially, a lazy person. Is Dave Allen lazy? Yes. Does he turn up in shape? No. Does he train? No. Dave Allen is lazy, therefore Dave Allen is a bum. That's how I look at Dave Allen in regards to the bum talk. I don't call fighters bums, really. Like, I would never call Gabriel Rosado a bum, despite having 12, 13 losses. No, the guy comes to fight, he trains hard. Yeah, he's limited, but he'll come to fight. I'll never call someone like that a bum. But someone like Dave Allen, who's a fat mess, doesn't train properly, and half-asses it, yeah, I think it's fair to call him a bum, to be honest. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. But me personally, I don't tend to call fighters bums. Sometimes it slips out. I don't care if other people do. It is what it is. But as for Dave Allen, yeah, I think it's safe to say he's a bum. But to be fair to him, he has actually turned up in shape this time around, by the looks of it. So there we go. Yo, BG London, keep on riding with your boy, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, lazy fighters. Listen, it is what it is, mate. Lazy, bum. Like, to me, bum is lazy. You fucking bum. You're a lazy cunt. That's what bum means to me. But I guess in boxing, it means something different. It means you suck, right? So, yeah. I don't think it is harsh, A. O'Neill on Allen, because the way I see it, the guy's had... This is his 8th pay-per-view slot on a card, and he's had regular Sky card shows as well. He must have been on Sky at least 12, 13 times by this point. And how many times has this guy turned up in shape? Like real shape? Once, maybe? To me, that's just pure laziness, mate. And it doesn't show dedication. I don't mind Dave Allen getting these opportunities, right? If he comes to fight, he's in shape, and he comes up short. I don't mind then. Even if you come up short, you lose all these fights. I don't care. It's just for lack of application with Dave Allen that really irritates me. And on top of that, he still gets chances. That's what I kind of have an issue with, I guess. You know. But he looks in good condition this time. He looks in good condition. Yeah, Browne gone. Lazy is a bit nicer, right? Yeah, exactly. You're right. You're definitely right. But yeah, maybe it's a bit harsh, but it is what it is, mate. It is what it is. Anyway, lads, if you guys could smash the like one more time, be much appreciated. We're on 48 likes right now, so if you could get it to 50, that'd be pretty fucking cool. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap this one up, lads. Really enjoyed it. I never streamed this long, to be honest, so I've definitely really enjoyed it. Salute to you guys for making it worthwhile as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Peace. Ah, look at Unrivaled in the last minute. I thought that was Christopher Lovejoy, mate. But big up to Unrivaled Boxing Talk as well. By the way, actually, before we end, I'll put it on my community page in a second, but check out Unrivaled's previous pound-for-pound video where he compiled a list of the top 30 pound-for-pound fighters in the sport of boxing. He compiled multiple people's lists and put it together for a pound-for-pound list. Check it out. Really good stuff. Excellent, excellent stuff, man. Peace to you guys.